health or a disability. And the Labour government came in to try and save £5 billion of expenditure a year by cutting the most vulnerable people's potential incomes from the state, which was not popular. And about 120 backbench MPs decided to turn around and tell Keir Starmer that this was not popular and they weren't going to vote for it. And he's caved in. Yeah, Ollie.
It appears that the people can hear you, but not hear Mikey or myself, and I just confirmed that. Yeah, we're not making any noise.
Squiggly, scraggly. So, Ollie, we should talk to each other for like a continuous 60 seconds, and that will give him a good audio check, so then he will be able to find it. If we just continue to keep the airwaves full.
I think I might have just fixed it.
Hey, there we go.
I'm eating an apple.
I was about to say,
Such a good apple.
Ollie eating an apple like
That's right.
some dude in the woods who can carve things and has a bow sitting right next to him.
Mm-hmm.
Some woodsman.
Hang on. Anne is telling us that we've got voices, and you've been an incredibly useful back-end producer. And you've paid for the privilege as well. So thank you very much for that super chat. We appreciate it. Guys, I am sorry. Graham makes this look incredibly easy, and so does Mikey normally. But this is the first live stream I've done with a Zoom account from my desk. So I do apologize for the lack of audio at the beginning. Graham will kill me at some point in time for this.
I think we can all agree the next time you just got to ask Mikey, and I will help you.
Exactly. Or I'll just say no.
And hiccups happen. What can you do? That's just the way it is.
Internet,
right?
All right.
That's
we don't have a big budget over here. We don't have crew. We have us.
We're still getting used to this, aren't we? Basically. Yeah. So to recap, I think mainly I was explaining that Labour have had this massive U-turn. Keir Starmer's caved in. Their internal planning and strategy seems to be completely
we're good over here,
to be honest with you. All of us have been saying for so long, why is the Labour Party not the Labour Party we thought we were voting for? Hey, Scott, how are you?
Hi.
Scott.
Thank you for allowing me in. I've only been waiting for a while.
You've joined. Listen, we didn't have any audio, so you'd have come in and would have just seen you. Would have just seen your beautiful face for 5 minutes, basically.
It's not going well, Scott. So before you attack him, he is trying to keep the ship afloat.
Here's the thing: the conversation's brilliant. It's just nobody can hear it, basically. But I think we now have sound.
Aside from the fact that no one can hear the show's going great. No.
That's not true, actually. I checked it out, and I could hear it on YouTube.
It's working.
Yeah, we've been solving it as we go.
So be nice to Mike. Yeah, he's trying his best over here. Okay.
That's right.
It's a Scott. The Labour U-turn. What do you think? How's that gone this week for Keir?
You know what? At least he's done it. You know what I mean? Like I kind of feel a bit like, oh my god.
Okay.
Listen.
Whoa.
I'll change my. It's smoothie.
I bet it was.
It is. It doesn't look like it. I'm gonna go change in a minute. Fuck this.
It's my...
Totally inappropriate t-shirt.
He totally self-vortexed that shirt right off. He's like, oh shit, that looks bad. Oh, it's not that bad. And then Mikey's laughing. Yes, it is that bad. I must change. You know, I can't even finish my sentence. I'm changing it right now.
I'm just going to...
Billy said double dipping.
I need to thank Vendetta for the technical input as well, because I'd got the sidebar open. And look, we've got somebody called Glasto Hughes who wants to join us.
No.
Uh-oh.
I will leave
if
Glasto Hughes comes in here one more time.
I don't know where I'm going.
Glasto Echo, by the sounds of it.
Echo.
Yeah, Glasgow Bath.
Yeah, there he is.
Oh. All right.
Can I just ask everybody if they could just tell Graham that it's been going technically brilliantly so far?
No, we've had a great time so far.
Yeah.
Nothing bad's happened. He can't hear us.
Graham,
anymore.
can you?
Can't even hear
Graham's
you guys
on
own
mute.
technical difficulties.
Yeah, I'm about to say
Look,
we're over
you're
here trying to
muted.
brag about like how this is going so well. He is. Look at that wire.
He's in a field with 100,000 people
Look at
trying
that
to get on the
phone
internet.
cord. It's so tangled. How? How did it get that tangled?
And he's muted, so he can't talk to us anyway.
He's still muted.
Yeah.
Oh boy.
So Graham is currently at Glastonbury. He was backstage for Ash earlier on.
Ah, there he is.
Is he?
Right,
still
we're gonna
backstage.
go. You want to, Scott? Do you like television?
Oh yeah, do wop,
Yeah.
dop, ba do wop.
See, why do you need to go to Glastonbury when you could just log in and
Oh,
have
look at
Scott
this.
sing?
Look at us.
Oh, whoa.
What? He's on the backstage.
He's on the stage.
Wow. Wow.
What a hero!
Is that TerraVision now? Cool.
I don't know. I don't know if he's turned his sound off or
It's
if
probably
he
so
just-
loud.
It's probably
Loud,
so
that's what I
loud we
was
can't
thinking.
even hear it.
Yeah, it's overwhelming his speakers and
Yeah.
or
Yeah.
mic, and it's just not picking it up.
I can't believe
He's,
TerraVision are playing Glastonbury. I mean, this band have been around for about 30 years.
We would
Still.
probably get a copyright hit if he put the audio on. To be honest with you.
Probably getting BBC would give them a call for streaming it.
What is that?
Mikey, it doesn't look like the bin's up yet.
Bit noisy.
Oh, look, Mikey
Sorry.
I'll double
Who
check.
waved? Someone just waved at us.
happens to the best.
Oh, there it is.
How
Just
could-
popped up for me.
Nice try,
How
Mike.
cool is Graham Hughes? How cool is Graham Hughes, everybody? Look.
Oh, Mr. I got backstage at Glastonbury.
Remember when he didn't?
Backstage at the Avalon.
Remember when he didn't have a
Got,
ticket?
Yeah, that was sad. But then I did get a ticket. So I might come back
you
later.
suck
It's
to
just-
get a ticket to Glastonbury backstage, Graham.
And where is he now?
And where is he now?
Oh,
And can I suck it too?
Is he
We've
out of
got,
tickets?
we've got porcelain toilets.
They
We've
got
got
fo-
porcelain
they got-
toilets in it.
They got
They're the
toilets.
They're
best.
called porta potties.
No,
That's-
porcelain. Like proper.
Oh, they got
floor-
porcelain
Oh,
toilets.
porcelain.
thrones.
Porcelain.
Ooh,
Real
the
toilets.
artists have it good.
Feel
They
like a
get
king
porcelain
on my
toilets.
throne. Listen, I'm going to go. And I might drop back in later. It's just really noisy in here. I can barely hear myself think.
Oh,
And I wanna watch
it
a bit
must
of
be
television.
awful.
So,
All right, buddy.
great to see everyone. Have an entertaining evening. And
We won't
thank
talk
you so
about
much
you.
to Mike for setting all this up. Thank you, Mike.
No,
You
don't-
are a
No, don't do that.
legend,
We're getting sympathy super chats from people basically pretending I've done a good job for the first 5 minutes with no audio whatsoever. So
Yeah.
Oh, brilliant. Well,
However
you know
we
what?
make the
It's all
money.
trial and error, mate. It's all trial and error in life.
I know, mate. I know.
You
Well, I've
take
got a
care,
new
right?
I've got a new respect for your skills. We'll see you later.
Oh, thank you, Ninja Girl.
I just want to
Later.
thank Jovian. Thanks very much for the £20. Yeah, it's going well. It's there's nothing to complain about.
PC,
Everything's going well.
Greg, Bruno. Okay.
It's not unusual, actually. I'm gonna sound like such a fucking
Sorry.
snob. When I worked in live events, such as festivals like Glastonbury, it is not unusual for the artist areas to have porcelain toilets. So
Really?
they do not make the artists shit in porta potties.
I don't use porta potties. That's where the monsters live. You
You
sit down on a porta
Artists
potty,
don't-
alien
artists
comes up,
do
grabs
not-
you.
Artists do not shit on porta potties. They shit in little huts with porcelain toilets on them. So
Damn right.
Tent,
the other half
generally.
live.
Tent. It's
Huh?
a little tent that's got a toilet in it.
no,
That's
no,
the-
they're like
when we sit
trailers.
on. Oh, that too. It depends where the
Yeah.
concert is. I'm thinking concerts that are out in a farmer's field.
Oh yeah,
Right.
This is a farmer's field. Glastonbury is a farmer's field. Yeah, they'll drive the onto the thing.
I
so.
suppose. I guess it depends on the size of the band. I'm thinking more local bands. We got
Oh,
some local
right.
bands playing, right?
Some of the
So,
biggest
yeah,
bands in the
we'll give them
world
an
play
all-right toilet.
Glastonbury.
No,
I
for
don't
those
even know who's headlining. Who's headlining Glastonbury? I have no idea.
for those
Graham.
concerts, Ollie, it's just like
Graham's headlining.
there's like a bush that says front man, there's a bush that says drummer, there's a bush that says
Hey, Foodie.
a
That's
tree that
hysterical.
says fans.
Headliners of Glastonbury. Just so Ollie gets an idea of how
Boom
big
boom.
Glastonbury is. Your headliners are. Hold on.
The headliners are Mikey and Tim. You can catch us on Tuesdays and Thursdays on the Vampire.
That's a shameless plug. Ollie, did your
1975?
dog respond to the I'm dog sitting? I've got the most random story this week, basically,
You
but I
couldn't
am
hear
dog
your dog,
sitting.
if that's what you're asking. No,
I'm dog sitting.
It was
for
only in my ears.
a friend I made on Thursday,
Oh yeah.
and then it turns out I'm dog sitting for her dog for the weekend, which is
Well,
I
so
think she-
so you met them on Thursday, and now you're dog sitting.
yeah. I think that's a very responsible dog owner, don't you?
No.
That's just a little sus to me. I gotta be honest.
They're not
You may
coming
now
back.
Own a dog. I
Yeah,
don't
that's your
know.
dog now.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, if anybody wants to buy a dog, just go into the super chat. It's fine.
Enjoy your dog.
Your dog.
So, Ollie, yes.
dog.
If you were to, Ollie, if you want to people that play Glastonbury or people like the 1975, Biffy Clyro, Alanis Morissette, Neil Young, Olivia.
Kate Nash
first
is,
two I didn't
Kate
know,
Nash
but
is
the
playing
other ones,
tomorrow
yeah.
afternoon, isn't she?
Yeah. Then wait, Rod Stewart. Yeah.
Okay,
Ni-
so
Niles
big
Rogers.
names.
Huh?
Big names. Big names.
Massive names.
Yeah. Yeah.
The Prodigy.
Yeah.
Busta Rhymes. Ooh, interesting.
Bus a bus.
Busta Rhymes, Deftones.
Oof.
Yeah.
Love me some
Big-
Can I
Deftones.
just
big bands.
can I just thank Ivan Ambrose for the super chat, $4.99. Thank you. Does anyone
Woot.
think Graham has already had a few drinks? Totally.
110%.
Oh, for sure. For sure.
What time is it
Yeah.
over there?
What time did he get
There?
there?
He hasn't?
Yeah.
I will be very upset.
If he hasn't
he
had
set off
one
at-
drink yet, what a fucking nerd.
He
They're
set
gonna
off
be,
at
"I
4
don't
o'clock
drink,"
in the
and I would've
morning
been drinking.
yesterday. Yeah, exactly. I think
You know what?
whatever else he's doing as well. And can I just thank Reverend Kathy for Does the Dog Chill on Sunday?
Ooh.
Okay, somebody help me with the context here, Rev. Does the dog chill on Sunday? Is this a David
I have no idea what that means.
No, you gotta.
like I met
me
her on
neither.
I met her on Monday.
Oh.
By Tuesday we were having
You-
coffee. By Friday I'm dog sitting for the weekend.
You met this
And
girl
dog
on
on
chills
Thursday
on
and Friday and Saturday, chill
Yeah.
on Sunday.
Sunday. Met this girl on
There you
That's
go.
exactly.
Monday.
See, I got
Um,
that reference. I'm down. I'm down with the kids.
I didn't.
Down with the
That's-
kids. It's a 20-year-old song. What are you
That
talking
song
about?
can only be 20.
Scott. Scott, 20.
I
I
No.
bet it's 30. I bet it's 30.
have
at
no
least.
problem. Look at this. Craig David.
Fill me in.
7 days.
Oh, 7 days.
7 days, because he brings up all the days. And that song was released in 2000. It's 25 years old.
Oof.
Good God. Good God.
Ollie, what's
Dude,
going
it
on
seems
over
like-
there, brother? Your camera's rocking.
What do you mean?
He wants to
Doesn't look
forget.
great. Your elbow's clearly putting in some work.
I'm just rolling out a piece of hash, Mikey. That's all.
All he does
I'm
is
getting ready to
time.
smoke some dope. Sorry,
Oh.
it's legal here in Canada.
No, no, the dope,
Stop
the
showing
dope
off.
smoking's fine. It's the other act that appeared to be from a distance. Like,
To
sir,
the camera.
do you need to
Totally
put
the wrong
your
thing.
lens cap down, or?
No, no.
Ollie,
No.
before you start smoking that, we've got a serious question in for you.
Uh-oh. Okay.
How are people in Canada reacting to the death of a Canadian in border force detention? Well, I don't know anything about this story. Is this?
I don't
happened?
know. This is news to me. When did this happen?
How are they reacting to the death of a Canadian in detention with border force in the States?
Ah,
This
Question.
is from Paul McSwibney. Come on, guys, have names that I can pronounce.
That's why
I don't know anything about that story.
that's why they pick
I
those
don't know.
names so that we can't say them because it's
Yeah,
funny
exactly.
to them.
Mangle them.
Yeah, Billy.
Um,
Billy wants to know in the chat. Long pipe. What's the name of the dog?
The dog I've got.
Boomer.
Yes.
The dog with me is called Sudi.
What?
Sudi.
I don't.
That's
ask
your.
questions.
You're gonna have
What
to
does that
change your
mean?
dog's name.
It's not my dog.
It
Well,
is
it is
your
my dog now.
Mike.
It's
They're not
totally my
coming
dog
back,
now.
Mike. They are fucking ditching. You're so
Already
kind.
referred to it
Of
as
When I-
yours.
Think about it, Mike.
When I
Of
asked her-
course,
when
he's
I
so
asked her-
friendly. He'll take great care of the dog. Let's go. The dog's gone.
When I texted her yesterday and said, how long are you away for? And she said 3 months. I'm in the Caribbean. Thanks very much for having the dog, basically. And I'm like, okay, this is
No,
great.
she's gonna be like, oh, I actually have to go to South America for another 6 months, and by then you're never gonna be able to give the dog
Is that what she
back.
honestly said?
No, it shouldn't. Honestly, it's
Oh,
Scott.
she didn't answer at all?
It is well worth. It's a good dog, and she's a lovely human. So it's well worth me doing.
What kind of dog is it?
It's a Labradoodle.
What?
Labradoodles are great. Half lab, half poodle.
Yeah, he's a fluffy little Labrador, basically. It's very cute.
Is it how
So-
how big? Like a medium-sized dog or like the standard-sized big guy? Okay.
Yeah,
my
medium-sized.
my ex, her dog that unfortunately passed was instead of using the regular poodle, they used the standard size poodle, which is big.
Oh, the big one.
Yeah, so
yeah.
Yeah.
that's
Yogi
weird
Bear
looking dog.
was a big, fluffy, awesome guy. Unfortunately, he had like something ruptured and he had internal bleeding. And they had to put him down, but sweetest guy, sweetest little guy. Every time I would come over, he would bring me a pillow from the couch. He's like, "Here's your
that's cool.
pillow. Make yourself at home. Welcome."
Well, this guy's totally made himself at home here.
Yeah.
He's taken my seat on the sofa, and he's very
always
comfortable.
away.
They're very smart, Mike. They're very,
Yep.
very smart.
Totally.
So to go back to the question, I just finished watching a quick little news article. It appears that Johnny Navilo, a 49-year-old Canadian, died in ICE custody yesterday.
Wow.
Ooh,
Well, he
dear.
died on the 23rd. They told us yesterday,
That's
4 days
fucked
ago.
up.
and it's still under investigation.
See, this is some really
So,
fucking weird. We got all this
that's
shit
in
going
Florida.
on
Hey,
with
Tim
Trump going. We're talking about bombs
Cyber.
and uranium and shit like that, and there's things like that going on down there now. That's fucked up. It's messed up.
This is the
I
problem.
mean,
It
ICE
is
is
fucked up.
This is the problem with like them trying to conquer the entire Earth in 6 months. You know what I mean? Like they can't responsibly execute what they want to execute. They're just taking shortcuts, not just whatever. We won't get in trouble. Fuck the judges if they fucking yell at us. Okay.
Oh well, they're getting away with that.
Just
now,
talking
aren't
about
they?
judges.
Mm-hmm.
Did you see that the ruling today was fucking amazing?
Mm-hmm.
Well, it's not a surprise.
Supreme Court basically just disqualified the lower judges from
Yeah.
making national decisions,
Right.
right? So
They're gonna
it's
make
bad.
everybody
They
go-
basically
everybody's going to have to sue in every single state for every single individual person that he tries to abridge the
Deport.
rights of. So he's just
Yeah.
going to completely just
so you can't
traffic
bring
jam the
mass lawsuits across all the states in a federal
No,
case. You've
because what
gotta-
they're saying is like so if I make as President Mikey Famine, if I make a law that says Scott is not allowed to wear headphones, and if Scott wears headphones, then I get to put him in jail. Well,
I mean, it seems like a reasonable law to be. I mean, we're all for this. Let's have a quick vote. Okay, great, passed.
Cute. Go on.
Ooh.
What were you saying, Mikey?
real quick, Tim Bellum, 2 British pounds. How about the woman who that had an ICE abortion? Oh, now I'm gonna have to look that up too. But you can't just keep changing the punishment for things. You can't keep changing the rules about things. I don't know what kids who are in law school are supposed to think.
Yeah.
Like
just a-
what's the point? You might as well
Well,
go to
this is the whole point. This is the literal
go to
point.
go to crook school. Just go to crook school at
Validate.
this point. Just
this
start
point,
learning
yeah.
how to scam people, because there's not going to be any kind of mechanism to slow you down or stop you. How the hell am I going to go in front of a judge if and the jail's full? The jail's full of fucking people for all sorts of unreasonable reasons, because this is a dictatorial regime. So now the jail's completely full. They can't put me nowhere. There's no judges or court cases going on. Cool. Just do whatever you like. And if he thinks that's a safe environment for him, One of us will figure out before the other one.
Yeah. And these ICE agents in general, a lot of the footage you're seeing at the moment, I mean, these are just brown shirts. They're thugs, aren't they? And smashing the windows of lorries to get people out that they suspect of being illegal immigrants,
They're
turning up
bounty
in
hunters.
courting arresting people. Yeah,
These
they're
are
a
bounty
nightmare.
hunters. They're bounty hunters. They're Trump supporting bounty hunters.
Yeah.
They're insurrectionists who have been given jobs. They are, the scummy of the scum, and they're quite heartless people, to be quite honest. But they're so brainwashed into believing this idea of a illegal person, that they somehow justify it in their heads. What they're doing is right, and
But if your
because
president
they
is saying these are bad people, they all need to be arrested. If that's the pressure that's being put on
He
you from
also
the top,
talked
if
about Arnold
the only
Palmer's
news
dick
you're
for 10
watching is
minutes.
telling you. Yeah.
Sorry, Mikey.
He also talked about Arnold Palmer's dick for 10 minutes. This motherfucker is clearly senile and does not even know where he is half the time. So
Who
Trump.
talked about someone's dick?
Yes.
Arnold Palmer, the golfer.
The golfer.
He was at a college doing a speech, and he started talking about the size of Arnold Palmer's dick.
Are you serious?
Yes.
This is
is
in the
before
campaign.
That was before he was elected. Yeah,
This is
that
before.
was
Right before the election.
Oh, okay. Oh, right. Well,
Another
listen,
another
at the end
coin
of the
on the scale for gay. Just want
he's
to put that out there.
dead.
Can I just thank Chris C for the £5? He's saying Trump has terminated trade talks. Ollie, I think you're going to have to answer all the questions tonight. Trump has terminated trade talks with Canada because of the Canadian digital services tax being applied to US tech firms. Tariffs en route once again.
There you go. It's old school now. What the fuck? It's tariffs. I'm still not shopping American. I haven't shopped anything American since February.
And this is the problem: is once people adapt new shopping patterns, they're not running back to get our shit again. They're just gonna stick with what they know now. Now that they've found an alternative, like I'll just stick with this. I like this actually.
The only thing I might pick up again after all this bullshit is over is orange juice. That's about it. And I did, when I was at the grocery store the other day, I didn't look at it closely, but it seems like we're starting to get orange juice from someplace else now. So I might be able to have an alternate source of orange juice now.
There you go.
So that's it. I don't need the States for anything. And that's just the way it's going to be. If that's the way that the not Mikey, not my friends in the States, not the people that are on our side, but if that's the way that this government is going to be towards us, we got to do what we got to do.
Force in their hand.
So.
I agree.
I mean, I hope Carney doesn't send troops down here because a Canadian died at the border. Like this is
it was in Florida, Mikey.
This is the other problem is when he's grabbing other people's folks and put them in these detention camps, and the detention camps aren't run very well, and there's like one bathroom for 600 people, and there's very little medical staff, and these people have medications that they need to take, and you're gonna have an incident. Like just running around with Pete Hegseth on Fox News, getting rah-rahs and getting all these hot clips and all that stuff. Yeah, it might feel good this weekend, but your decisions are poor, and they're leaving people in very dire straits. And when those consequences start catching up, Tim Ballum with the 2 British pounds, one ICE agent with swastika tattoo says it all. Well, there you go.
Yeah, the scum of the earth.
There you go. So when I call them Nazis, don't fucking grammar police me and tell me that I should not be this. As soon as you say Nazi, you just lose the argument. Until there's fucking literal Nazis, and then I'm totally justified.
Call them that. Like, it's ridiculous. People try to police that bullshit.
What a 50-year-old argument. Oh, you can't just keep saying Nazi all the time.
You can't just keep saying that because that's mean. Fuck off.
It's
they are.
Godwin's law, isn't it?
Yeah.
Godwin, the professor that came up with that law, actually follows the Trumpton account on Twitter. And I once did a joke about, is it okay to call them a Nazi if they've got a swastika tattoo? And he said, it's okay to call all of these people Nazis. It's fine.
That's what I thought.
Right, because they're fucking Nazis.
Yeah. He said, there are codicils to my law, and they've all been changed recently. So
Like they tried to gaslight the entire planet that Elon didn't just step up there and sig heil twice. Like we're all
It's
crazy.
ridiculous.
Like we're all fucking
We're all
crazy.
stupid. We all didn't see it. It was from the heart. I was saying it was from the heart. Shut the fuck up.
My heart
all
goes
think
out
we're
to you or
dumb.
some bullshit. Motherfucker, you said
Yeah.
empathy is the worst thing that a person could have. But my heart goes out to you. Shut up. You
fuck
you
off.
lie like you play video games. Not very well.
Wow, very well.
So we've just had Trump visiting, where was it, Holland for the NATO meeting, and being called by the head of NATO, being
Daddy.
called Daddy.
Unreal.
What the fuck?
Unreal.
What?
Been pandering.
Yeah.
What?
I didn't
to
watch
them.
it yet.
Ridiculous.
No.
To be fair to his quote, Trump was rabbiting on about the fact that he was literally referring to members of NATO not paying up or not paying the 5% that he was demanding. That it was like children squabbling and they needed to be sorted out. And then the head of NATO, Mark Rutte, who's the ex-prime minister of Holland, turned around and said, and then sometimes Daddy has to come in and use strong words. And then in a subsequent press conference, Trump was asked about this, and he said, "Yeah, Mark Rutte calls me Daddy, and I think everyone should probably call me Daddy.
He had
It's a sign of
t-shirts
respect."
up online in about 6 hours for 35
That's
pound a
just-
pot calling Daddy Trump.
There's a brilliant clip online. I
Ridiculous.
don't know which Senate it's in. It's in one of the states, and a Republican stands up and genuinely says, "If the Democrats in the Senate want to get any of their ridiculous laws passed, maybe they should show more respect for Donald Trump and call him Daddy." All right, and the Speaker in the Senate is obviously gay, and turns around and says, "You don't want to know what that means in my community."
I
Yeah.
saw that video. It was quite funny. Because God knows I get called Daddy nightly on fucking Twitter.
So much to unpack
Well,
there.
maybe
8
Trump
years
might like
old.
that.
It's ridiculous.
I'm just gonna put
Thank
that
you
one.
to Francis for the £2 Thank you very much, Francis Winnow.
I'm just gonna put one more.
No comment as well. Doesn't want to say anything for their money, and that's the kind of donation we appreciate.
You gotta put
Strong
one
silent type. I'm gonna put
Yep.
one more coin on the gay side of the scale with the whole likes being called daddy. That's going
Yep.
Yeah.
drink. So that's
Straight guys like that shit too. They like when girls call him daddy. They do. They do.
We have a Pranay in the room.
Yo,
Hello.
Hi.
Hey.
what's
Hi.
up?
Pranay, welcome.
Sorry, I'm late. Just Friday night,
That's
you know.
How
So
dare
Friday
you?
night.
things
Don't
to
tell
do.
us you've got a social life as well.
No, I haven't got a social life. Just had like to cook. So yeah.
Ooh, what'd you
Ah.
make? What'd you make?
Oh.
What'd you make?
Pasta. You know.
Oh,
Quick and
that's
easy.
boring. I want the Food Channel explanation.
No, pasta is good. You can
Yeah,
cook
dude.
like the same pasta 20 different ways, you know. So
Yeah,
it's
so
like,
you got
yeah,
some sauce, you had some protein. Divulge.
Yep.
Yeah.
We're living
It
vicariously.
had to be
through
gently
you.
stirred and tossed in something.
Right.
Pranay. That's
No,
the way we
I
do
just-
this.
Yeah. That is exactly the way we do it. Yeah. No, just
Excellent.
like some penne and some sauce. And
What
now
kind of
we are done,
sauce?
and I'm having a whiskey, and I thought I'll join you all and
Hell
see
yeah.
Right,
what's
it's
going on
lovely.
here.
You're very welcome.
Thanks.
We,
The
we're
long pipe was
discussing
summoned earlier.
the level to which we think Donald Trump is secretly gay.
He has to be. A parade for his birthday? And I want
Parade
all the
for
big,
his
strong
birthday.
boys out there with their big guns. I
Yep.
want to see them all.
Good-looking
right.
guy. He's a very good-looking guy,
Yeah.
basically. That's
He
all ever
loves
said.
handsome men.
And this guy has a
Yeah.
very big penis, and he's dead.
Big, strong guy.
Yo, he talked about Homeboy.
He talked about a dead man's penis.
Completely
Yep.
unprompted for like a good solid 4.5 minutes. Like he was like, and a lot of people were talking like, whoa, and I was like, whoa, and he was like he is going on and on about
Yeah.
dude's dick. Everyone is like,
What?
does he know we can hear him?
No.
Hot mic.
Is he talking outside of his head?
Hot mic. Don't say that no more.
Yeah. Brett says in the chat, YMCA. Come on, guys. It was
Yeah,
obvious
that's
from
his
the beginning.
favorite.
Yes.
That's
Well,
that's
and-
2 coins. Blink, blink. Yeah,
and
and
think
the
about his
and the
da-
dance move. 3 coins.
Yeah, the dick dance. Yeah, it's like
I learned this down in the showers.
It was all there in front of us. basically.
Golden escalator. Tuh. It's a sex move.
I love Storyteller because Storyteller was already taken 69. Thank you very much for the £2. I take the 5th.
Okay.
Why are you guilty? What are you guilty of?
Yeah.
You'll
Yeah,
never
what
know
is he
because
accused of?
I'm pleading the 5th. You'll never know why I did it.
Yeah.
Like, what the fuck?
Well,
What is it?
so,
What is it you don't want to
different
admit
question.
to about Donald
Yeah.
Trump's sexual preferences?
What are you accused of? That's all. Just what are you
Yeah.
accused of that you're pleading the 5th
Did
to?
you suck off Donald Trump?
None of your business.
Put a
Again.
weenie in your mouth.
I'll never tell.
Shit, if I
Prane,
had,
let's
I'd
bring-
tell you that. Oh,
Let's
God.
try and drag ourselves out of the gutter here.
That'd
Never.
be great.
Okay. What?
What? Tell us about the news from India this week. Give us a perspective on the world.
Well, I mean,
It's
we
premiered in
can.
India.
I think one of the things I noticed this week was that we had like a pretty big news from an India point of view that the New York, that Mamdani became the nominee, right?
Yep.
So usually you find that Indian media goes gaga anytime any one of remotely Indian origin gets into a position of power or has some opportunity or gets into the media. This time it's all been sort of nearly all's been negative coverage.
He's
And
Pakistani.
it's- Yeah. And quite a few commentators think, well, it's quite clear why it is, but quite a few commentators have talked about how kind of blatantly obvious it is that because he's a Muslim and because he may not have views completely congruent to India's foreign policy objectives, like for example Palestine or Kashmir, right? So that they don't want to big him up, basically. And this is the first time I've seen someone of such distinctly Indian ethos, like heritage, because he made videos in Gujarati and Hindi, his cam.
Do you know anything
campaign
about his
videos, so-
background? Do you know anything about his background?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, well, so his mom's Meera Nair, who is a really famous director, and she has made really amazing movies critiquing the social class structure in India, commenting on feminism in India or the growth of it. And so she has made some really sort of deeply thought-provoking films about this. And so I guess that he grew up in a household which had this around him. So the fact that India is led by the BJP and by Narendra Modi, of course, means that any sort of potential criticism of him, they certainly do not celebrate, which I find quite shocking. So so it is kind of not really the news out of India, but rather the lack of news, on this particular topic.
Mikey, how's his candidacy playing out in the States? Because he's very much not a center Democrat, is he? He's in the AOC side of the party, is that right?
He's a progressive, which is hilarious because as awful as Andrew Cuomo is, he has all the backing of the DNC, and even Trump's little minions are sneaking money into his coffers. He is the swamp establishment that they want back in there. They want an old school blowhard who's got a sexual harassment background who can get in there and just, facilitate the corruption. Just like Adams was doing until his stupid self got caught. If he wouldn't have got caught, we wouldn't be having this conversation. We just run him again and run them again and just keep running them until we have all the money in our pockets. The young people, I'd say people under 40 are horrendously excited because this is what the fuck we've been talking about. Simple, basic shit for people. That's it. Nothing fancy. No, okay, we're going to reorganize the whole. No, that might take 50 years. But for now, we're going to freeze the fucking rent. We're going to make the buses free. you're gonna pay your fucking 1% millionaires, and you're gonna like it because the city's gonna be a better place for you to. It's gonna be a more comfortable place for you to exist in. It'll be worth the money. It's a rounding error, as he liked to call it.
Yeah,
sounds great.
Yeah, well, what's going to fuck it up though, Mike? Is Cuomo's going to run. He's going to run independent. Right?
He's going to run independent and keep up the Islamophobic attacks and try to just spoil the broth.
Do you think so?
Just like RFK.
Yep.
RFK couldn't get on the Democratic ticket, so he ran independent. Got all the woo medicine. What's her face? Gwyneth Paltrow goop people, all the people believing in all the fucking bad medicine. He got all those people to vote for him. So then as soon as he knew he was going to lose, he's like, okay, so can I be like a charge of medicine over here on the Democrats? And they were like, fucking no. He's like, hey, no. Trump, can I be in charge of medicine over here if I... And he's like, yeah, sure, I don't give a shit. And then, that's why his voters went over there. He's an opportunist who never gave a shit about anybody. He's like, I'm going to make everyone have dengue fever because that is hot maha. He's so stupid. He's so stupid. He's got one of the best sound clips on the soundboard right now, which is about him just stammering over himself because he's just so incompetent.
Doesn't work anymore.
He doesn't. Oh yeah, Ollie's brain work. The props. But yeah, I think a lot of the young people are super excited. The establishment is pissed. The right wing is pissed. Good. Be pissed. Start getting used to being pissed because that's one city. Yeah. We got more cities to go. They're all getting the fuck out of here. They're gone.
What really struck me was it kind of came out of left field. A lot of commentators I watch in the States, it was almost a surprise to them that this was happening. They talk about they're based in LA or whatever, and it wasn't a story they were covering until it happened. And it really, a lot of what was being said about it really resonated with what you've been saying for months, Mikey. Get that grassroots, younger support, get the money in from those people in small donations. It's a Bernie Sanders game, isn't it?
But that's just the thing. The money is for what? For reach, for ads, for all this stuff. They ran ads. You know what I mean? They ran double, triple the ads that he ran. He had an Instagram reel that was banging, fucking going to eat the halal food trucks, and then like, wouldn't you want to pay $8 instead of $10 for a halal food truck? And it was like, yeah, that's fucking political marketing, dude. A food truck marketing campaign. He's a genius. He is very smart.
He's got a policy on state grocery stores or something. Is that right?
Yeah,
I think.
So what in areas where supermarkets won't provide
there's
affordable...
there wasn't enough of a profit margin for them. So if you put something in that state sponsored, it can make up that cost so that these people don't have to, bus an unreliable bus system for 30 minutes to go get groceries or pay extra to get it delivered when they're already maybe not doing so hot.
Yeah.
I think that there is possibly some space for this to happen in the UK also, because there are these deserts for food in the UK, particularly in England, for example, and also if you go to remote Scotland, but that's mainly because of remoteness rather than corporations or the industrialization of food. It's kind of like you have these food deserts, and it's just very hard to find fresh food there. It's very hard to find fresh anything. And so you have got a whole generation of people growing without even familiarization of fresh food, much less knowing how to cook it, right? And so if you can provide fresh food at prices that are better than what you can get somewhere else, then that's a starter for change, I think. Or that can be, I think.
Definitely.
I get that too here because the province I live in, the entire province has 8 communities that have grocery store or stores in them. 8, the entire province. I mean, it's the smallest province in Canada, but
for the idiot UK audience, give us an idea of how big a province is, Ollie.
Your
Oh
province.
no, we're the smallest province. We're a 3.5 hour drive from tip to tip, and
Right.
in
Okay.
spots it's a 15-minute walk to get across the narrow spots.
But
from north
in
to
terms
south.
of British
Barely out of
standard
water.
measurement, you're the size of Wales, basically, at least, if not bigger.
Maybe, yeah. It's a
Right.
3-hour drive that's really fairly narrow.
3
Yeah.
hour tour.
Yeah, Wales is a bit more than 3 hours, but I guess in Canada you
Well,
may
they're
have faster roads
nice-
or
yeah,
straighter
decent
roads.
No,
roads.
we're a
Yeah,
province. We're an island, right? We're an
Oh,
island.
right. Okay. Yeah.
So that's it. We fill our borders.
So
But
like,
still,
you are like 3.5 hours from like end to end, and you've got eight community stores where you can buy food, or
8
is that
grocery
what?
stores over
Eight
in the
grocery
whole
stores.
province. Yeah.
That's crazy.
Well,
It's
8
unbelievable.
area. No, in the main city of Charlottetown, there's like a dozen of them, right?
Right,
And in
and-
Summerside, there's 4 or 5 of them. But in all the other communities, there's one community that's got 2, right?
yeah.
So it's like
It's not
And I
spread
am-
out. Yeah.
Yeah, like, and I am like guessing that there are certain times these stores are open, so you can't go there anytime, right? And like the rest.
in Charlottetown and Summerside, there's a couple of them that are open 24 hours.
Okay.
I think it's only 1 or 2. But
Okay.
all the rest of them, no, you're right. They close by like
Mhm.
weeknights by 7 or 8 p.m. type of thing, right? So
Yeah.
We got a super
Yeah.
chat from Bruno, genius with 2 British
Thank you.
pounds. I really think Zoran is the start of something big. We're not fucking dealing with this shit forever. The millennials are done with this shit.
Yep.
You had your shot. You fucking blew it. We're fucking sick of it. You're gonna all go, and you guys will see the beauty of our majesty and the waves of empathy and everyone just living a normal, regular life without bothering other people. When you take care of people's material condition, they don't tend to be so hateful.
and you can convince most of the Gen Xers to go with you.
Yeah.
Right. It's the ones that are before us that are still voting that are the real problems. So, so
Yeah, the 70-year-olds and the idiot children are the only ones that are rooting for
Yeah.
this right now.
yeah, yeah. So
Yeah.
Oh,
Yeah.
about the food thing. So my previous career, I was in grocery, and I trained. I over the years, I probably trained like 100 cashiers, maybe 150 or something like that.
Wow.
The young ones on the produce test.
don't know how to math.
No. Don't worry
Oh,
about
you
that.
are stereotyping now.
Yeah. Calm down. All right. I'm just saying, like you give them like just like green beans, and they're like asparagus, and I'm like they're close. They're all like they all kind of have rough knowledges of the thing, but their parents don't cook. They don't know what the food is. They definitely don't cook. Like I mean, I saw dozens of them over, at a time that just no idea what normal produce is. Like a couple of like horseradish root. Okay, maybe you didn't know what that looked like, or ginger root. You thought it was, or tamarind. You maybe didn't know what it was. Okay, that's a little obscure.
But green beans.
But you can't tell
Ooh.
a honeydew and a cantaloupe apart.
Yeah. That's
Like,
true. That's
yo,
easy.
that shit.
Yeah,
What
yeah.
did your parents feed you growing up this whole time? You ain't never had it. No, they had fucking pouches and fucking juice boxes, and they just these kids had a totally different growing up than we did, where we just like ate bananas and apples, and sometimes you ate the sticker on the apple because you weren't paying attention and you were hungry. Like,
No, that doesn't happen.
I've been like, fuck's wrong with oh, fuck out of here.
I never did that. I actually managed to always find the sticker first.
No, I
I've
usually
eaten
wash
like
my
5 or
apples
6
before I eat.
stickers in the last like month. I just grab it and go. I assume that the stickers fall off. There's no way there's still a sticker on here. Damn
They're
it.
probably
Dude,
edible.
wash them apples before you eat them. That's the
Nah, man, they grow
that's
up.
growing in you bad.
Nah, they grow outside. They'll be okay.
You're talking to supermarkets. I was talking to somebody in the local co-op supermarket here who was visiting, and they've been hacked recently. and they're not entirely sure who buy. But them and Marks and Spencers, another big supermarket chain in the UK, have been quite severely hacked. So much so that they couldn't. Their tills were no longer reordering food, so the shelves emptied in these supermarkets overnight.
Yeah.
Because they couldn't get replacement food. But the impact that I hadn't really thought of that they were explaining to me today was that there was a massive impact on food bank supplies because the co-op shelves were empty. They'd got no excess stock at all, and therefore there was nothing for them to hand over to the food bank lorries that turn up every night to pick up all their bread and fresh food. So there's been this dramatic sort of push down the line to the very poorest in society that hack has ruined their diets essentially. But Marks and Spencers went the other way because the co-op switched off all their computers for 2 days, analyzed what the problem was, and came back with a system that was able to, at least as a minimum, start reordering. Marks and Spencers plowed through it, and they've been donating huge amounts of food every day to food banks.
Oh, that's cool.
Yeah,
that's good. Yeah,
there's a thing in Brighton when you talk about distribution. A friend of mine runs a food bank distribution outfit in Hove, near Brighton, and it absolutely amazed me. They have 5 lorries and a warehouse. They go around all the supermarkets every night in Brighton and Hove and pick up all of this stock, take it back to the warehouse, sort it, redistribute it back out to all the shops. And it's kind of lovely that they do it, and it's an amazing organization and operation, but it is almost as big as a small supermarket chain now running food banks. And my question is, they're essentially providing a service for people like Tesco's and Sainsbury's and Marks and Spencers. They're taking away this stuff that they would have had to throw away normally. And they would pay to dispose of that stuff normally. And now it's being taken away for free by an operation paying for all that fuel. What? And Tesco's have got lorries and warehouses. Why are they not just delivering it directly to the food banks? Basically, it seems illogical.
Model.
Yeah. So we have a charitable business model sitting there replicating a commercial business model that's blatantly broken.
I mean, it shouldn't exist.
No. No.
Yeah, it's the only way to sort of describe it. It shouldn't exist, and it does, though. And that's that's where you have to kind of.
It's like all the. I mean, we had a year of a Labour government now, but the Tories that used to proudly go and cut the ribbon on a new food bank.
Unreal.
Yeah.
Just one of the shittiest things they would do. Really would be. Well, this is really great for the community, and it's like, well, maybe you could.
Yeah.
I don't know, create a law so they can get more money, not be taxed.
Some jobs. That would be nice. So just coming back to Labour and this switch on the I know a lot of guys in the room might not have a take on it basically, but my feeling is that the Labour have been getting their strategy wrong since they got rid of Sue Gray, and I think there's been a fairly arrogant sort of move off to the right and chasing Nigel Farage for votes after the local elections. And it just feels to me like Keir Starmer, whether he's doing it himself or he's being led that way, or Rachel Reeves is being led by the Treasury, that we're just attacking the vulnerable people in society, taking the money from them to pay for missiles to fight wars in God knows where we're going to go and fight our big wars. We just agreed to buy some Ollie, you'll be pleased to know we're going to send you a bunch of billions of pounds to buy some F-35s from you and some nuclear bombs.
Woohoo! You're buying nuclear bombs from us? What?
But
we don't have nuclear bombs.
Sorry, Mikey. I meant Mikey.
But this is the thing, isn't it? And you wouldn't believe it if you listen to the press. Because the way the press sort of are talking about this whole thing is just that he's just incompetent. And it's like, well, wait a minute. You would be if this was a Tory, you'd be supporting all of this. You know what I mean? So, because he's had to U-turn, it's supposed to look bad. The way he sort of painted it today was, well, it's a democracy, and people told me they weren't happy, so I've changed my mind. And I kind of thought, well, fair play to you. I mean, I'm not going to totally defend him, but fair play, right? But when we talk about the Labour that everyone voted for, you would think that the way the press portray it is that they're like, well, this should be more right wing. You know what I mean? And then when you hear sort of talking heads, you listen to sort of talk radio, things like that, and they pick out the people that wanted to be more to the right. But the overall majority of the country is left. So, well, the people that voted, I don't understand why he hasn't read that in the room. Like,
I mean, I think maybe there's an argument to say that did we vote for it?
Far more left, and people would actually be accepting of it.
Yeah.
It's like,
because either begrudgingly or positively. Yeah.
That's what Mom Donnie showed.
Yeah. If he's more left, then people like Farage will attack him, and it's like Farage is nicking left-wing ideas and selling them off as far-right ideas, right? Yeah. So no, that's not what will happen. If he shows up, if Keir Starmer shows that he cares about the working class and actually does progressive things to help the working class and the middle class of this country, he's going to be in government for years. And I don't understand why they're trying to pander to the right. It's because the press are pandering to the right. And that's what this is about. They don't want to get torn up in the press because people are stupid and believe what's written in the press half the time.
Yeah, well, the press are never going to be happy one way or the other, and with the majority they've got, you'd be better off pleasing your backbenchers and your core voters. I think just going back to is this the Labour Party we voted for? I think anyone that is involved in the Labour Party did vote for a Labour Party that should be progressive. I think the majority of people that ended up voting Labour, though, at the last election just voted against Tories. That we were just fed up with that government, and I think a lot of people didn't really have an idea of what they were voting for in the Labour Party. It was just an alternative. Yeah. And I think that's the problem, is that reform is sounding like a better alternative to the Tories, certainly, and starting to make that noise, as you say, by stealing some of the clothes of traditional Labour. But the bit that disappoints me the most is, as you say, why move Labour policies that way when you've got that level of a majority?
You can do whatever you want.
Yeah, and they've clearly demonstrated
because we want. You can please all the backbenchers. They'll vote for it, and it'll go through. So,
and it's not just the usual crowd. It's not what would have been the Corbyn, Diane Abbott wing of the party. It's some significant people that sit on select committees and chair select committees. These are people lined up to be junior ministers in the future. Yeah. The chair of the Treasury Select Committee has come out and said, no, this is wrong. And it feels to me like, I quite like Rachel Reeves, but I just get the feeling that she's sort of caved into what the Treasury tell her. This is a very Treasury type policy, is to say, look, we spend all this money on welfare for sick people. We could save £5 billion by just adjusting the way that we allocate that to people in 2 years' time. And that's an easy buy. Whereas if you look at, well, okay, what if we put a wealth tax on people who earn over £150,000 a year? What if we start looking at inheritance tax and bring that to a threshold that means that we can pay it? What if we actually move the threshold of paying higher rates of tax so that when you get, it's been frozen for 5 years, you can recover that money in complicated ways that hit the middle class and hit the wealthy, and they're not prepared to do that. They've been going for the very vulnerable.
Absolutely not, no. They don't want to touch them. And it's not what the people voted for. The people voted for them to be touched.
Yeah, and even if people even if people that voted Labour reluctantly just to get rid of the Tories, basically their expectation was they were going to come in and do stuff. They were going to fix the welfare state,
shake things up, and they haven't shook anything. All they're doing is shaking the same. But they're shaking out the same bullshit.
And I think honestly, just like we look at Hegseth and Kash Patel and Pam Bondi, and we see these people in these extremely difficult, challenging, like you need to be a career professional to competently accomplish the tasks required. Like these are hard jobs. And he's grabbing Fox News hosts, and you see the results. So I feel like the left and the right can get mad at me. They can both suck my dick when they're fucking finished being upset with me. They're both there's a lot of fakers, you know what I mean? Like people who have legitimately no understanding of the the mechanisms of the department that they are asking for the seat of. So when they get there, and because they've been in some other position, of course they would have read up on how to do the job. I don't think a lot of these people know what the fuck they're doing. I think a lot of these motherfuckers are absolutely incompetent. They're stupid. They are rich, or they have rich friends, or they're racist, and they're able to get into office, but they are in no way the best people for the job. And both of our political systems and our election systems especially are not geared towards sniffing out the best person for the job. It just isn't that way. It turns into a fucking pissing match and a prom queen competition every single time. Every single time.
I think there is something fundamentally wrong with the system when that's happening. If you look at what's happening with reform in the UK and the councils that they've won, you know, I think Warwickshire have ended up, the guy that was elected chairman of the county council, the province of Warwickshire, has resigned and he's left his deputy, who's an 18-year-old, in charge.
There you go.
It's a £15 million budget a year, basically, that this teenager is now handling.
Like, these are hard jobs. Wow. And then, like, so the people who have the experience, right, who do know how to do these things, are they teaching the next generation how to do anything? No. They're hoarding all the information for themselves because they don't want to lose their job. Baby girl, you was going to lose your job anyway. You are 7,000 days old. You need to go. It's time to go.
I think it's very different what's going on in the States right now, especially under Trump. We actually, like, I don't think anybody can say that the people in government in England right now are incompetent to the extent of Pete Hegseth and Robert
no.
Liz Truss.
Kennedy,
I agree.
And
Liz Truss.
And McMahon. Oh, well, Liz. Okay, no. We're talking about the current government. We had incompetence. This is what we got rid of. We got rid of the incompetence. You had Biden, you had people that knew what they were doing. Now that America has voted in Trump, they have brought back all the incompetence. You've got the woman from the Wrestling Federation who's running your education
McMahon.
Yeah.
Linda McMahon. You've got your Pam Bondi, who's just, I don't even know what the fuck that woman does.
She got Trump out of his Trump University fraud case in Florida. That's why she's Attorney General.
Loomer. Laura Loomer or whatever. Pete Hegseth,
BJ and Air Force One.
Pete Hegseth is a broadcaster.
Yeah,
he's a broadcaster,
and he's not even very good.
Yeah, he wasn't even a good broadcaster, let alone.
He was on the weekend
and a drunk, and a drunk who still won't commit to not being drunk while he's doing this job.
Right. So when we look at when we compare the two. We have competent people in there. They're just playing to a certain. I think they're playing to a certain demographic that they think are a majority. This is in England, but they're not. And that's what I'm saying. More people, I think, would be happier with progressive policies. I mean, the right-wing press and the Tories will all go mad, and they'll all start running around, start complaining, right? But they can get all of it through this. They can say shit about it. And it wouldn't matter if people's lives start to improve, it won't matter. So in America, no one's life is going to improve.
Can I interrupt you just for 1 minute? Because we've got a couple of super chats I don't want to miss. Jovian R, thank you very much for the £10. I think for people on the left, the Labour Party is the best of a very bad lot. Probably true. And then Kieran, let me just get down to Kieran. Kieran Crossan, 9.99. Thank you very much. The way Labour is behaving over things like Palestine Action and kneecap is absurd.
I mean, Labour is supposed to be sort of the left. Now, you might not agree with everything kneecap says. That's fine. But they're artists and they're allowed to express themselves in their art. This is all very recycled. It's Two Live Crew. It's NWA. It's it's Eminem. It's all of this again. Every generation there is an artist that says controversial shit, and politicians like to jump on it.
It's just crazy that the Prime Minister's even asked to comment on the damn thing. To be honest with you. It's
I mean, if
pointless.
I was the Prime Minister and the press asked me to ask, I have nothing. Kneecap can
Yeah,
say
I
what they
think
want. I have a
you should just
I have
turn
a
around and
country
say,
to run.
yeah, are you a serious journalist?
Are you a real
Because-
journalist? I'm not. You want to go talk celebrity gossip? Go do that somewhere else. Here, we're gonna handle government.
You know
But in a
what's
way,
really
this is what-
kneecapping us? What's really kneecapping us is the way that the austerity from the Tory party, like that, like I don't have like that is a political, like that is such a.
It's an easy win.
Yeah, that's the ball's on the ball's on the tee. Smash that
Yeah.
shit. Remind people about the issues and get back to fucking work. But everyone
get
wants
to
to
work.
play
And also-
pageant games now.
Kneecap wouldn't have the audience they've got if it wasn't for Brexit anyway, really, because the whole Northern Ireland issue is growing back again because of the problems at the border.
Right.
I'd switch it over to Brexit, but of course, no Labour Prime Minister is allowed to mention the word Brexit, are they?
And another ridiculousness, because at the end of the day, I mean, I think people would up and down this country would celebrate if we went back into the European Union, but no one's ready to have that fucking conversation at all.
No.
Which is ridiculous.
I don't understand that.
You know.
Yeah, like yeah, like I think that, you know, like even if they don't, sorry, my headphones. Like I think the problem I see with Rachel Reeves and everyone else in the cabinet is that they seem competent. They deal with things competently, even if you don't agree with them on policy, but they seem to deal with competence, which is what like Scott was saying, right? That the American, that the US is full of these kind of TV guys who are doing, who have been given very large things to do, whereas here we've got reasonably competent people doing things, right? But I think the ability, I think somehow they like feel like they are like unable to take political risk, and this is what I don't get. Like, if you don't want to go into the European Union, fine, you know, because it's like a divisive topic and it'll take years and there's a, you know, process to it and all of those various things. But the fact that the chancellor is like afraid to even talk about Brexit when it comes to the economy, or in fact last week, or was it the week before, that the government refused a public inquiry into the effects of Brexit, right? So we haven't even got a kind of an official view of what is the effect Brexit has had on the UK. So how is it that we are ever going to affect public opinion, or how is it that we ever going to fix the UK if we keep our head in the sand about it? Like, we have to at least talk about it, right?
You guys need a Tim Walz.
Yeah, if it was me, I would have said, "Oh, yeah, we're cutting disability." Yeah. Oh, why? Because the economy's fucked up because of Brexit.
Right.
Y'all voted for this. Sorry.
Right.
Yeah.
And we'll be able to point.
If we can go back. We can go back to the European Union and we can start making money again.
Right. Yes.
And then we don't have to do it. How about that? You know, just give me something like that.
It should be an ultimatum. Every time that they complain, there should be an ultimatum.
Yeah.
So you want to go back to European Union?
$100 billion deficit, so we have to do this. Yeah.
It's like, oh, you guys are doing this bad. Okay, so I'll fix it if we go back to the European Union. You ready to go back? No? Okay. Well, then I'll fix it.
We'll take the money away.
But it's not that easy.
Yeah.
It comes back to the those F-35s that we've just decided to order just to please fucking Daddy Trump. Before the NATO summit.
Hey. We don't acquiesce to fucking dictators. Do not play his game. Fuck
no.
him.
Well, we are, right? So what the UK
take your dick out right now, Mike, and you slap Trump in the face with it. We do not do not bow to the fucking dictator.
But this is the thing that bothers me the most about this, right? Is we're buying F-35s, and the nuclear missiles that they'd be able to launch, we wouldn't be able to use them unless America gave us permission anyway, basically. And they can switch the F-35s off while they're in the air, you know. So the only threat we really face in a nuclear sense is Russia. Do you think Trump's going to give us permission to use these bombs against Russia if we decide to? No, of course he's not. And then the other thing is, we have a perfectly good aerospace industry in the UK, Italy, France, and Spain, and Germany. We build Eurofighters. We're perfectly capable of building bombers to drop nuclear bombs. and those jobs were in the UK. There were people in Wales and the south of England and the north of England who were building wings and engines for these damn things and shipping them across to Europe. That money then recycles. So if the tax money goes out to pay for the stupid blade planes,
I hear you on this, and
people
it's
have
annoying
jobs.
and it's frustrating. But at the same time, a little part of me is a bit like, it's not like we haven't got any money, right? We're still the 7th largest economy in the goddamn world. We have money, right? Let's just placate the man baby for a few years, until an adult starts to run America again.
Just give them the Rhine
and then
line.
we can sell them. We can do whatever we need to do with it afterwards. But right
You
now,
may be right.
like perhaps just placate the man baby so we could just stay on side for the next few years, and then
It's just kind of. I think you're right, Scott, and it just feels kind of horrible. Doesn't
it's annoying.
I think if I was Keir Starmer, I'd look in the mirror every night and go, "Oh,
this sucks."
As an American, that doesn't look, sound, or feel like support. Sounds like self-preservation on the other people's side. Like, we'll let it.
Dude, I mean, you know, the whole American attitude is about self-preservation. I mean, if you want to, you want to talk about, America first,
not everyone
voted. In America agrees with that. I agree.
Yeah, we didn't all vote for him,
course,
so it's like.
But we have to look at on a geopolitical level, and world affairs, where it might upset the left in America that we have to placate the man baby, but the truth of it is the man baby is a man baby, and unfortunately, he's unhinged and unpredictable.
Well, and also I think that our tools to placate him are running out, aren't they? Because apparently the king and the palace are holding out against this royal visit. This state visit and say, can we do it? Can we do it in 2 years' time when the weather's better? Basically, and Trump is apparently.
I'm going to start waving my hands in the air here.
Yeah,
Ali. Sorry, go on.
I would just like to point out that so much shit is happening. All we've been talking about is shit that's happened in the last week. We have yet to mention Iran, the bunker bomb. Holy fuck, man! Like, what the hell is going on in the world?
That was right after we left each other last week.
Ollie, hold that thought for a moment. I just want to thank Darren Christian for the £2 super chat. Is Scott the coolest guy tonight? Yay for aircon.
I have aircon as well.
When I read the first part of that, you thought, Scott's the coolest guy.
Oh my god, I'm actually cool, and I know what I'm talking about. Then he starts talking about
Scott's like, I'm about to go get me a new camera because I'm about to be on the YouTube too. Damn it, I'm about the coolest one.
And then can I thank Storyteller,
guys? It's
Storyteller because forget Kneecap. I listened to Nobble. Okay. And I just want to go back because I've missed one, I think, from Angry Pagan. Yeah, one Angry Pagan. Thanks for the £2. Labour have been good on the environmental policy and green energy, though, which is true, and they're not really selling
doing
that story.
Some really good things in the background that are obviously not being communicated properly because we have a communication problem, right? There's no doubt they're doing stuff for workers' rights. They're doing stuff, right?
Yeah.
And the obviously. The right-wing media is going to focus on all the negativity, right? Oh my God, it's a U-turn. He's done too many U-turns. I don't trust him. I don't do that. Blah, 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 blah. Okay, fine. We don't trust him. Let's get rid of him. We'll put someone really fucking left in.
No,
right? We'll put a Jeremy Corbyn in, right? Well, and then we'll see how you like it then. You'll be screaming for Keir Starmer to come back.
So I think what we are all currently experiencing is like, because you guys all drive standard cars over there and shit. Like, I feel like
I don't have a car. I don't have a car.
Nor do
you guys know what standard.
I don't own a car actually.
You guys know what stick shift engine train. You guys know what a stick shift transmission is. Jesus, I didn't know. I realized it was so polarizing.
We are aware of how automobiles work. Mike, yes. Carry on.
Well, though, I was just saying with a
America
clutch.
Isn't the only country that uses cars.
It's not what I said. Thank you so much. Carless motherfucker. No, I'm just playing.
I'm fucking with you.
But like,
I have a moped. Leave me alone.
But even on your moped, probably there's a clutch, right? I feel like
no, my moped is an automatic. All I need to do is just move this thing.
Now I have zero respect for it. If it had a clutch, at least I respect it a little
It's
bit.
a 110cc moped. I mean, it's no more powerful than a battery-operated push bike.
My mountain bike has gears, damn it.
That's not having gears. It has stop and go.
Go and ungo.
Yeah.
Cool.
Run out of go.
Hopefully
it
brakes
sounds like a
work, you
lawnmower.
know?
But I feel like a lot of these leftists or left side or liberal or any centrist and left adjacent, they have the clutch fully engaged and they are just stomping on the gas and nothing happens. And the car is louder and louder and louder. And all this gas is being used. All this smoke is coming out of the back and the car is not moving.
It's because they're not selling on emotion, really. You know, it's selling
Because
facts
they're not
about the environment.
doing anything.
Yeah.
You have to do something to move, and they won't do anything.
I want to go back to Ollie's thought because I did cut him off for those super chats. The Iran situation, you know, Trump.
Yes, I think it's very important we talk a little bit about this for sure.
Trump, who is doing something which is starting a 12-day war, 11 days into it, basically, and saying it's not a war, and then everybody's saying it's definitely not a war, and then Trump going, no, it's called the 12-day war, and I won it, and now I deserve a Nobel Peace Prize. Dropping bunker bombs on evidently locations where it's foreign. You're talking about 400 grams of this uranium or something like that. Somebody will correct me in the chat as to the exact weight, but you're talking about 3 buckets full. Like, not difficult to move and hide somewhere else.
No, there's no way they could have moved it. There's no way they could have moved it.
No.
Especially when it's like, oh yeah, I'm going to talk to him. We're going to negotiate. He ain't negotiating to move the shit.
No.
He lying.
I said on the Tuesday before.
Yeah, we called that
On the
shit.
Tuesday before.
We called that shit from fucking our couches. Like, they're moving it. As soon as he said that.
On the weekend.
Yeah, yeah. We said on Friday he'll attack by Monday, and he attacked on Saturday.
Yeah. So, it's ridiculous.
They moved
then
that
he
shit.
drops the F-bomb and then
Oh, Jesus.
now
They don't know what the fuck they're doing.
I don't know what the they're doing. Do you understand
And it was
that?
also his
You
little
understand
tantrum. That tantrum he had in front of the whole of NATO, in front of the worldwide press, this massive tantrum. You're all scum. Everybody's scum. We did really well.
Newspaper scum in front of the he's like in the press conference. He's calling them all scum to their faces.
Yeah, and they're all saying they're taking it, and it's ridiculous.
Yeah, and they don't respond. Like, I don't understand.
I would walk the fuck out. Like, who are you calling scum, bro? Like, what's wrong with you?
Yeah.
The CNN reporter actually did quite a good job for once of standing up for herself when he called her out for being fake news and disrespecting the pilots. And she turned around and she said, I did a 4-hour report with graphics explaining how brave those pilots were and the achievement that they'd made. But I genuinely want to ask you, do you think it was successful when your own department is saying it wasn't?
She's not from CNN. She's from Fox. She's been a senior military correspondent for Fox. She's been working in the Pentagon for like over a decade. She's highly decorated. And Trump said that to her, and then Hegseth, I can't remember her name either. And then Hegseth lit her up too, saying you're the worst one and da 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 da. A couple of the Fox pundits have come out and said she is great. I don't know what is going on over there, but she's an excellent reporter. She has done nothing. There's no bias in that. And this is Fox News dudes getting up, old crusty white dudes. Like, hold on a second, brother. She's good people. You can't just be shitting on her in front. They don't care. You know what I mean? Because these are 14-year-olds.
They constantly need to discredit the press unless they say what they want them to say.
Yeah.
That's what this is all about. Discredit. What I'm saying is true. What you're saying is false. You're lying to the American people. The American people is to sow distrust within the media in America so that Donald Trump becomes, i.e., the truth. That's what he wants. That's dictatorship.
And his strategy in those press meetings was literally, if you're questioning the success of this mission, you are dissing those brave.
You are un-American.
Yeah, and I just want to state for the record that all right, you're getting a bloody great supersonic aeroplane that's got stealth capabilities and can fly at 50,000 feet and drop targeted bombs that fly themselves to their target.
Pause, Mike. How high up were those planes?
I don't know how high they are, but they're
What's
not.
the-
They're
what's
not
the-
exactly.
what's the maximum
They're not
range?
skimming.
What's the
They're
maximum?
not skimming the ground, are they? They're
What's
not.
the-
They're literally not flying over buildings with ACAC
Are we
fire
talking
coming
about
at
the
them, are they?
B2 Spirit? Yeah.
Yeah. What's
yeah,
the
yeah.
maximum
The
range
B2
on their
Spirit flies
AA?
at 50,000 feet.
Yeah, I
It
was going to say
flies at
45 to
50,000
50.
feet from where it drops the bombs, and it can
Yeah.
go pretty much around the world if you refuel it in the air, right? So,
Yeah,
but
yeah.
I think
And look, I'm not knocking
yeah.
these pilots.
No.
I'm just saying
I had a
they're
thing
not
to say.
Spitfire pilots, are they?
Okay.
Just
Sorry,
hold on a
Mike.
sec.
Yeah.
okay.
50,000 feet. But remember, these brave pilots were almost shot down. By who? Fucking Homelander? Like, who the fuck is it? Like, the
Yeah,
Martians?
yeah.
Who the fuck is
Yeah.
shooting at them?
Yeah,
Brother, you have
Yeah.
gas for a rocket that can catch that thing and get... First of all, it has to be fast enough to get up there. And it has to have enough gas to get all the way up there and then chase it.
Yeah.
It doesn't
And
doesn't
find it.
happen.
Well,
Because
first of all, it
they
has to
reflect
find out where
radar
it
in.
is, right?
Yeah,
Right. So I mean,
exactly,
it's
yeah.
stealth. So
Yeah.
I mean,
Yeah.
Just-
They were
just like
fired
really
up.
hard.
Just
to
fire
figure out.
indiscriminately at the sky and maybe it'll fly into it in a week. Like, what are you talking
And
about?
the other thing too is those pilots didn't see the target.
No.
That was all
No.
computerized.
It's
All they were
GPS.
doing was guiding their ship through the air. Nothing happened to them.
Yes.
Something
This is
happened
the
in
bit-
the back. They felt a chunk chunk, and
Yeah.
the bombs
I-
got let go.
I find
That
it
was it.
hilarious. Trump said
They started flying a
Trump
lot
said
faster.
he said they hit their targets and there was no moon. There was no moonlight to guide them. And you think, what do you think it is? A fucking Lancaster bomber? It's ridiculous, basically.
Yeah, there was no moonlight,
bombs
so they
were-
had to trust their instruments. You don't say.
Yeah,
They're
the bombs
50
were
fucking
probably
thousand
dropped
feet
from
up.
Ohio or something. Weren't there some guy
Yeah.
sitting there with a keyboard going, "Drop it now"? Basically.
Yeah,
It's fine.
okay. And like they had to drop the bombs right on top of each other, right? Because these bunkers are supposedly so like deep
Yeah.
that a single bomb
Yeah,
cannot
boom,
reach it.
boom. Yeah.
So the fact that they had to drop it from 50,000 feet up to that precise point, so the second one falls in the same general
Yeah.
previous blast.
In the hole,
I mean,
yeah.
that has got like got to be like highly like computerized laser.
So,
kind of
so dig
targeted
this. So
shit,
dig
right?
this. So dig this.
There's not a guy looking out the window with a pair of binoculars.
No,
Yeah.
yeah.
Oh, left
No.
a bit.
Trump-
Left a bit.
Trump thinks they're all like fucking in fucking open cockpits with the fucking, you know, a scarf
Yeah.
fucking blowing in the wind, and then they're fucking got the goggles on,
Oh,
like,
man.
"Are we over? Are we over it?" That is not what that one. So
Somebody-
not cool, but an interesting thing about how those munitions work is I'm pretty sure they have a little parachute. Like they have fins, you know what I'm saying, to guide themselves, but they're mostly gravity assisted because it's like 35,000 pounds. So you get
Yeah.
one and you get it lined up
20
and
tons
it's
for British people.
so you get one lined up
Sorry, go on.
and it's doing its floaty thing. And then the next one's doing the floaty thing. And then all of them cut their parachutes. You know what I mean? So you get in through the same hole, just complete, utter chaos on the ground. Which, I mean, is fine, but come on, man. Wasn't nobody up there like, he acted like there was an X-Wings going through the trench on the Death Star. Like,
I was
chill,
just going
dude.
to say, somebody needs to go
But
play
then-
War Thunder and record a clip and send it to him and say, "This was the bomb and run. Here's
Look
live
what we
footage."
did.
He'd believe it. He'd believe it.
I've seen TikTok videos and things of patriotic, B2s flying in formation and dropping these bombs and American flags flying over their wings. And it's not difficult to sell to a large chunk of the community that these things are amazing. That Trump says these guys are heroes. You show videos of these guys being American heroes and destroying mountains, etc. Basically, I don't know. It's depressing that we all sit there and see one thing and 50% of America sees another. What do you do? Just very quickly, Kieran Crasson, thank you very much for the $4.99. I'm certainly pronouncing that wrong, but it's about 600 kilograms. Movement depends on if it's a gas or a solid, but Iran shifted it. I think the whole thing was choreographed. All right, we're talking about the enriched uranium, 600 kilograms.
600
Oh,
kilograms.
right. Okay.
Yeah.
600 kilograms. Yeah. So
Still
they've
less
got,
than
I think,
it's a
or
ton.
well,
That's one
they-
truck.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that's one truck.
Yeah.
That's a flatbed.
No,
No.
well,
And just
uranium's
before we
gonna
start,
be-
Prana, just
uranium's
very
gonna be
quickly,
heavier, right? Sorry.
sorry, because I ignored him the last time at my
Oh,
peril,
God.
but one angry pagan, another £2, thank you very much. Frigg's loving blessings, all ye wonderful badgers. Bless them.
Aw.
Thank you.
Sorry,
Another
Pranay,
piggy.
carry on.
Yeah, no, I like was thinking. So 600 kilograms. Someone said that was the uranium that they were trying to make like into like bomb grade that they were trying to enrich. Because I don't know. Because because like they had centrifuges down there.
Right.
I'm guessing, and some gas goes in there, and they spin it at high speed and stuff.
Can I do a
Yeah.
30-second TLDR?
Yeah, please.
Okay.
Yeah, please.
So the uranium is mined, and then it is sorted, and they want the 235. I think it's the 235. So then
238. That I know. No, right. So the original is 238, and they want 235.
That's the process.
No,
they take it down or up, which
they need to go one up. They get it at 35,
Okay.
and they want it 36. So they get
sounds right.
They get the 35, and then the 35 is mixed with hexafluoride. I can't remember the name of the chemical. Landon, can you help me? Landon's in the
Where
chat.
are you, Landon?
I can't remember the name of it, but
yes,
it's mixed with a gas. So the yellow cake powder is mixed with the gas. That gas with the yellow cake enriched uranium in there, that goes into the centrifuge, and then it spins. They're trying to isolate only the ones that are the 235, because the 235s are the ones where if you add one more neutron, and if there's enough of it in enough of an area, it becomes supercritical. That's how you make it into bad things, right?
Yeah.
So
Weapon grade, yeah.
right. But even if it doesn't have to be 90%. And I'm glad we had Landon on a couple weeks ago to explain this to everybody. It doesn't need to be 90%. 90% is the most efficient way of doing it. They could do it at 60%. You just have to have more of it to have that ongoing to keep the interaction going. So
critical mass, you mean?
Right.
Yeah.
To keep
right.
to once it goes supercritical, you need to be able to sustain that interaction for long enough for it to finish. So yes, they have the mines. It goes from the mines into the places. They mix it with the hexafluoride, and then it gets spun up, and then it's just a matter of how long can you spin it and how much can you refine it. And the centrifuges spin at ungodly speeds, like crazy fast. And that's what makes them so sensitive. So like the bombing of them, or even the inspectors touching on them, will ruin the centrifuge. So they probably damaged all the centrifuges for sure. For sure, they're all broken. But that doesn't mean that they didn't flush out the plumbing and get all of the gas, collect all the gas, put it into another container, and move it somewhere else. So yeah, you may have dropped the bunker busters down and they all layered and you got all the way down. But that doesn't mean that there was anything in there. But he cannot accept the fact that it could have been empty. Like they could have moved the tanks. They could have moved the yellow cake. They could have already stopped using that one and built another one somewhere else. You don't know.
And they heard about it on Signal the night before.
Yeah. I mean, their Israeli spies are good. And apparently the Iranian government is so in collapse at this point and is so corrupt that people are just giving up military secrets for like $5,000. Like, it's not even like, oh, you gotta make me rich forever. It's like, hey, where does that guy live? $8,000. Okay. And then they just tell him. It's like, yo. So it's a sketchy situation altogether, I would say.
Yeah. And then, I mean, you've got that whole issue of various spokesmen saying it's not about regime change, and then Trump immediately contradicting and saying it's totally about regime change. And the whole concept
is that a racist term?
You know,
asking for a friend.
Like, has regime changed ever worked? You know, even Tucker Carlson last week was saying, how's that going in Cuba? You know, it's like you've been at this a long time and it doesn't work. But the idea that that's what they're trying to they bombed a prison which has got political prisoners in it in the middle of
free.
Tehran. Yeah, they literally like but 2 weeks ago he'd been to see Les Mis. Yeah, the theater he took over in Washington, right? I am pretty certain he watched that and went, oh, hang on, if I just storm the Bastille, they'll all run out and take over from the Ayatollah, basically. That was pretty much the plan.
Or you'll really really horribly maim all the people that you just freed because you bombed the building that they were locked in. They couldn't, get out of the fucking way. They're in prison. Stupid fuck.
It's not like the movies where the prison guards say, "Oh, we're being bombed. Free the prisoners."
Run!
It's not
Everybody
like that.
run!
Hit the north wall.
The prisoners run. Fuck, or the guards run. Fuck the
You're
prisoners, is
free.
what they
It's
say.
fine.
Yeah.
Oh, the wall's been damaged. I guess you guys are free now.
This is it's always the hypocrisy, isn't it, of the most powerful state in the world doing this kind of thing, because a Canadian has died in custody under ICE. If Canada decides to go and do it, well, what you need here is regime change. We'll just bomb the White House.
This is what I'm saying. Like, I think that the phrase regime change is inherently racist because it's only said about certain people and not about other people. He wasn't calling for regime change when in France they're a nuclear power. He wasn't saying that about Germany. He wasn't saying, what I mean? Like, they don't say that about non-white places, but or about white places, but any non-white places, like, that regime, the crooked Maduro regime. Look at you, Trump. You're the same fucking guy, dude.
Yeah, and
he was saying Lizinski needs to step down, right?
Zelensky.
Yeah, that's true.
Yeah.
So.
Oh yeah. There's the one white one. The one white guy who wouldn't fucking bend over and kiss his ass, and he was just like, what, regime change.
As soon as you get a Muslim New York mayor, then he'll be going for regime change in New York as well.
We were talking about that earlier. I mean, the way the right wing commentators blew a gasket in their heads on the very thought of a very idea of a Muslim becoming a mayor in a city in America. I mean,
I read an article that said
I don't think
you can expect Sharia law and communism at the same time. Basically.
Completely incompatible with each other, but great.
Yeah. I would tell him I'm doing it. I'm a troll. I would do it. I would say
them. That's what they do. That's what they do to us.
Troll him back.
That's what they do to us. That's all this whole Trump thing is about: trolling, owning the libs, troll the libs.
My first mayoral speech under the desk, I'm pulling up two heads. Fucking
we got Sharia law and communism. Yeah, free bus fares to the stoning. Free bus fares to the stoning. That's what he's. Fuck with them. Fuck. I mean, they all go mad.
Just have a big glass of blood on the lectern and not talk about it. Just.
Fuck 'em. Ridiculous. Absolutely
My
ridiculous.
favorite innocent.
Yep.
just lean into the villain trope. But it's gonna be hard to keep calling him a villain when things start going smoother. That's the fucked up thing that the Democrats and the people on the left do not get. Their argument doesn't mean anything as long as you do the work. Just do the work. Even if don't hold all of the offices and positions, start doing the work anyway. Do the good for the people anyway.
When you talk about doing the work, at the end of the day, Trump, we can say what we want about Trump. He's trying to do a lot of the things he said he was going to do. So we did.
Listen, I was going to say earlier.
I don't remember him ever saying that before he got elected that Canada should be the 51st state.
No, he made up a lot of shit as soon as he got elected. There's no doubt about that. Yeah.
No, he didn't. No,
Ollie, I think he did
right after. He never mentioned Greenland.
Right after.
Yeah, he never mentioned Greenland. He never mentioned Canada during the election.
Right.
And did he mention birthright citizenship? I can't remember. But those were two things that he didn't say anything about that crap.
Nothing.
I was fairly certain he said we're going to launch bunker buster bombs to blow up the maple syrup mines. I'm pretty certain I heard that.
No,
he didn't say that.
No.
You'll never get through that.
In Minecraft only.
Now, Ollie, you're going to tell me they don't even mine maple syrup, that they get it from trees or something ridiculous.
I wasn't going to let you know that. That's a secret.
See all around.
Why are you saying that out loud? That's a secret. Mikey didn't know that.
If you look all around,
can I just thank one angry
that
pagan
shit grows
for £3?
outside? I've been paying this whole. There's a tree in my backyard. Hold on a second.
Yeah, can I thank?
But don't you
on a
see- don't you
branch.
see
I mean, that is
all
so
around?
that is so totally what we should be saying. Canada should be saying to Americans, "Hey, you got trees in your garden? Just go and cut them open and
Yeah,
drink the fluid. It's just
so-
like maple
That's right.
syrup."
So speaking of like what we were talking about earlier, and I wanted to bring up Canada. Go ahead. I got my
Mikey,
point.
just one angry
Yeah.
pagan, £2. Thanks very much. Meanwhile, climate change and sea levels continue to rise on. You're very right. But we'll ignore that because that's all going to happen in like the far distant future.
Like
Yeah,
2 years from
20
now.
years.
Don't worry about
10
it.
years from now. But like what me and Scott were arguing earlier, and it made me it reminded me of Canada, and Nolly just reminded me of Canada and that point.
Did we argue earlier?
Sure, I just said a
Okay.
word.
Okay.
Conversing.
Don't remember.
But like Canada has firmly said, "Fuck off, not over here. We're not playing no fucking games with you." So I don't think the rest of the world has to capitulate to the crybaby man-child. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Man-child gets put in the corner for misbehaving, and if man-child keeps misbehaving, he's gonna get his pants taken down and get spanked.
I hear
Like
you. I
that's
hear
what
you, but
needs to
they-
happen. Like
America
you have to fight them.
America relies on Canada for probably a lot more than they rely on Britain for.
They've got more leverage. Yeah. Definitely.
Yeah.
But if it's
Yeah.
everyone against him, it's different.
But
So
you
if
have
you
to have
guys say,
some-
but if you guys say we're with Canada, we don't appreciate how you
Well,
guys
in
are talking
theory,
about
we
Canada.
should be. It's one of our.
That's what I'm saying. The
Commonwealth
way that
countries.
he's fucking threatening to invade and annex part
A
of the
Commonwealth country
of the
is
part of the
ridiculous.
Commonwealth, and the UK is not sitting there like Starmer should have been like,
No, I
"Don't you
agree.
never say governor again, bitch," or "Is me and
Yeah.
you in the parking
Yeah.
lot was
I
good."
100%.
That's
agree with
what
you.
needs to
I
happen.
would
But
have
this
gone
whole
mad too.
oh well, we have a letter from His Majesty, and,
I would have gone
and
mad
you
too.
know Trump
And-
can't
and
read.
You know what? That would have played so perfectly in with the patriotic morons.
And he should have grabbed his junk. Be like,
Yeah.
"Don't fucking say nothing about fucking. Don't say shit about Canada no more.
Problem
I'm
is,
fucking coming over
that
here."
that is so the opposite of Starmer's character.
That's
you
the
know.
180
Did
he
you
needs
see-
to do.
But
That's
did
the-
you see
the
last
U-turn he
weekend when he
needs.
was in Canada and Trump? So apparently, this is the story I'd heard that the UK and America decided they were going to sign the agreement that they'd announced when Keir Starmer had been over there.
It sounded
So
like
they did
crap
the
to me.
night before, right? Keir Starmer and the ambassador walk in and say, "Hey, here's the document. We need you to sign it, Mr. Trump." And he says, "You know what would be a great idea? We should do this on camera tomorrow. We should do this at a press conference. We'll get the document. We'll show it all to the public." So they go out to these woods, stand there with Keir Starmer and Trump,
Yeah.
and he opens up this folder and all the paper falls out.
Yeah. Starmer picks
And
it
then,
up.
and
Yeah.
there's two things about this. One is reporters with 4K cameras are looking at this paper falling out, and they go, "There's no writing on this paper. There's just Donald Trump's signature. It was full of blank
Yeah.
paper, so it was just a
Yo.
prop."
Where is that?
And then the other ridiculous thing is Keir Starmer gets on his fucking knees and starts picking up the paper for him, and Trump
Yeah.
goes, "Oh, it's windy out here." And you look at the trees behind, you go, "No, it's not windy there at
No.
all."
Yeah.
Keir Starmer, you should have just stood there and looked at him and go, "You're gonna pick that up? you
Pick it
cunt."
up, dude. Don't litter out here, yo. I heard it's a ticket.
Yeah.
Let him ask for help because he's an old man, and then
You
tell
know,
him
yeah,
no.
It's
Let
a
him
do-
ask,
it-
and then tell him no.
It's a no-win situation on that one. I think.
It is a win. You have to. That's the thing. Wins must
No
be
win.
snatched. You can't let the win is not gonna fucking fly like that bird at Bernie's speech and land in your hand and just be your friend for the rest of your life. You need to grab victory. Mom Donnie took the fucking win. He went up on stage and said, "Hey Cuomo, at least I didn't fucking go out there looking for people's fucking gynecological records. I didn't subpoena them in court. I don't have all these lawsuits. I didn't steal all this money from the MTA." Like, that's what needs to happen. The same shit that we say is what they need to say. And until they start sounding like us, it's never going to happen. It's never going to
I just
happen.
say,
The people like us. They don't like what they're
Sto-
hearing.
Storyteller, because Storyteller was gone 69, says, "Thank you for the £2. This is the letter from Prince Albert," and then grabs his junk, basically.
There you go. There you
That's the
go.
answer.
Got
Yeah.
another letter from him from Prince Albert. Boink. And then just hit him with it. And then mic drop. And then smoke machine.
That was,
Strobe
You were
light.
talking about
See.
princes. Did you hear that absolutely bizarre story of Prince Harry and his wife being attacked because
don't
their
know
dogs
what
have
the
puppies?
they're doing. Do you understand that?
What?
what?
Tell us.
I love Tesla.
What?
The news?
Because what we need
Hey,
is a
Billy.
Prince Harry story. Tell us.
Yeah, the Prince Harry known those.
It's so ridiculous. Apparently, animal rights people are very upset by the fact that Prince Harry was bragging, I don't know, online or wherever, about having puppies at his house, because he could have adopted a puppy rather than making more puppies.
I think the
I
Earth
mean,
needs.
these two
I think
can't breathe without being attacked. It's ridiculous.
while yes, shelter pets are great pets, there's never too many puppies as far as I'm concerned. Give them all to me. I will take them all.
That's cute.
I love
But,
There
it.
actually are.
It
There
just-
actually are too many puppies in the world.
Hush your
They are
mouth.
making too many dogs.
It-
Too many
it-
But my
dogs.
puppy's a rescue. My puppy's a rescue. So
Yeah, mine too.
My puppy was an accident.
Well, mine's a rescue because blatantly I've just gained a dog this weekend. I
Yes,
rescued it
yes.
from a stranger, but
That's your dog,
Um,
dude.
that's
you better
your dog. You're right. That's
you
your
better
dog.
rename it because Sordid is a weird name. What was the name?
he is very, very Sudi. It's called.
Sudi.
He's very
Nah,
happy.
I don't like that.
Very happy. doing
What's
that.
the? Is there a story behind that? There's like a.
There is one that I can't really broadcast
Okay, okay.
particularly, but I will tell you later.
If it's an emotional, like
I think I
heartfelt
know where
name,
this is going.
I do apologize, but I will not do it publicly because I need to make jokes. So
yeah.
I hope it's not a really sweet name that I've been ripping on. But if that is
yeah.
the case, it has to happen, and these things are forgivable.
Of course, the dog can't tell that you're taking the piss out of it.
Yeah, fuck you,
Um,
dog.
Scott, talking of princes, did you see the story Tan shared
get some
this
coffee.
week about is it a Norwegian prince that's been done for sexual abuse?
No, I
Yeah.
haven't seen that at all.
Yes,
It's in our
apparently
chat, and I
dozens
Prano,
of
thank you.
cases. Sorry,
do you know
no,
the story? Can you tell us what you know?
yeah, like briefly. I think so. I think for the last sort of year or so, there's been a lot of allegations of rape and sexual assault against this man, and he's, I think, the stepson of a princess. So he's, I think, two. Yeah, so I think that he is like two So I think he is two degrees away from the heir to the throne. But the police are, well, the police have now charged him or are in the process of charging him. I'm not really sure. And yeah, so I guess
have
that
announced charges against him.
right. So they have now announced charges. So yeah, I mean, the fact that a royal could be pulled up and is being charged for these, I mean, for these offenses, which I believe are kind of, I mean, they are high in, high in number. They haven't really announced the exact number, but
It's
they
in the
are.
digits, alleged
Dozens,
victims.
they think, isn't it? Yeah.
Double digits.
So yeah, that's.
I think
That's
they must
interesting.
have a lot of evidence.
Thank you, Prano.
Yeah.
They must feel they have a very, very solid case, because obviously fucking with
Yeah.
royals is a big
There's-
deal no matter what.
Yeah.
country
There's
it
video.
is.
There has to be video, doesn't there?
There's
Something
something.
like that.
There's
Yeah, there has to
something
be a lot of
somewhere
evidence, definitely.
where it's
I mean, the good
easy-
thing is that
Yeah.
our royal family are well above that kind of behaviour. There's no,
What?
there's just no possibility that any member of
No,
the
of
British
course
royal
not.
family.
Stop it.
No,
Sorry,
of
when I
course
say there's no possibility of them being arrested for that kind of thing.
Oh right, no, yes, that's what I was thinking. Is you mean, yeah, no,
Yeah.
yeah.
Can you imagine? Can you just imagine, based on the fact that Harry got the wrong dog, and that's front page news, basically? Can you imagine if Harry did anything in that area?
Oh,
Like
like
he-
calling for him
I-
to be hanged.
Yeah, I genuinely believe that Prince Harry must have the cleanest life going nowadays,
If
because
all they've
they're
got
not
is a
digging
dog.
any. Exactly. Yeah.
This
When we
this
all
is-
know that Kate pegs William on a daily basis, and they will never
Yeah.
print that story, and it's only allegedly, just in case any.
Oh no,
government
I
lawyers are
I
watching.
fucked up. This is about William and Kate. I fucked
What
up.
the
I thought it was
the dog
Harry.
story?
It's not
dog
Harry. It's
story.
William and Kate.
Yeah.
Prince William
Oh.
and Kate slammed for breeding puppies. Animal rights protesters, activists at PETA took aim at Prince William and Kate after their dogs had puppies.
This whole story's changed now. Different
Excuse me,
prince,
it has.
different story.
Yeah.
We're criticized by animal rights activists because their beloved Cocker Spaniel, Orla, had puppies. The Prince and Princess of Wales recently confirmed their pooch gave birth to a litter after they released new pictures of William to mark his 43rd birthday on Saturday. The heir to the throne has been surrounded by 3 new puppies and his dog, Orla. The pooch gave birth to 4 puppies last month, and the photograph was taken of the Prince of Wales in Windsor on a sunny day earlier in June. While the photograph melted hearts all over the world, people in the ethical treatment of animals attacked the royal couple for being staggeringly out of touch and churning out a litter when animal shelters worldwide are overflowing with puppies desperate for a second chance at a longing home.
Well,
somebody told me today, because there's a genuine, when I got my rescue dog, the amazing women that run the rescue centre up in the Downs, when they found out I do sort of cartoon books about my dog as well, they asked if I could just promote the fact that there are too many dogs, that we need to stop breeding them. There are plenty of dogs available for everybody because they're having to kill dogs on a regular basis because they can't find homes for them.
Yeah, that's absolutely
true. And then somebody today was telling me, when you think about it, that breeding purebred dogs is really just trying to say, it doesn't say anything about the dog. It doesn't make the dogs any better. It literally is just the owners trying to say something about themselves through owning a purebred dog. And if you owned one of Prince William and Kate's purebred dogs, I imagine that's a status symbol for some people, isn't it?
Yeah.
And therefore, like everything in the Duchy of Cornwall, they can charge you a bloody fortune for these dogs.
But I think while breeding dogs is questionable ethics, definitely, it's kind of not the worst thing the royals have done. I mean, there's plenty more.
I know, it literally.
And these dogs
yeah.
Well, we can have a 24-hour show just about it, and we would still have things to say about it. So at least. So anyway,
yeah.
But yeah.
That's it. So what you're saying, Pranny, is we'll let them breed dogs, but all the other shit, let's deal with that.
Yeah. Right. So it is it is someone said, right? Labour's the best of the left right now. So, the best potential we have anyway.
I think
so. It's you just have to compromise and say, fine, we shall focus on the bigger crimes for now.
I think breeding dogs is just fine. I think puppy mills are a fucking problem.
Oh, for sure.
That's the difference.
You know what I mean?
For sure.
Like this is a family. Yeah.
Because if I have, if I get it, if my wife came pre-installed with 2 cats. Let's say she had a dog.
That's the way to put it.
Pre-installed, did you say?
Yeah, there was no getting.
Strange medical condition.
My
dogs were attached to it and everything.
If I wanted her, the cats are attached. I can't. There was. I'm allergic to cats, but I just have to take the medicine because they're not going anywhere. They are pre-installed. I can't get them off. It's like that fucking U2 album on your iPhone.
I've got
that bitch is not going nowhere.
There's a terrible joke in my head, and it's going to come out somewhere. I should mute myself for a few minutes. I'm sorry.
Stop, Joe.
But what I'm saying is, he saw on the dating app that she'd got 2 pussies, and that swung Mikey.
I'm a real man. I met my wife at a Sum 41 concert.
Oh,
that's
a story.
By singing Backstreet Boys to her through a crowd. I picked her out of the crowd, Mikey. And I grabbed her and I said, "Come here. I need to sing this to someone." And she's like,
"Get off me, go away. Why are you talking
Nope,
to me?"
the rest is history. It worked.
The rest is history.
I shot for the moon and landed amongst the stars, baby.
Mikey, that's the most romantic thing I've heard all night.
It's literally a freaking movie. She bought extra tickets for the concert, even though she didn't have anybody to go with. Found somebody to go with last minute. Had seats, but instead went back out into the field anyway, which is where we were. My buddy who took me to the show for free, his sister, whose birthday it was, ended up having to do something with work, so she couldn't go. So I got his ticket. It was 10 coincidences that we ended up seeing each other. 10 reasons why I should have never been there, and she should have never been there, and we definitely shouldn't have liked each other. But
that's
confidence.
Confidence. Your relationship is statistically important. I like.
Yeah, it should not have worked. But hey, guys. Backstreet Boys, I Want It That Way works literally every time. Every time I've tried it, I've been married.
Now I'm in
How
a
many times have you been married?
Once.
now I'm in a new dating. Now I'm in a new dating
100%.
cycle in my life, Mikey. I'm going to walk the streets of Brighton randomly singing that to people. And see how
It has to come up organically. It has to be playing out somewhere, and you just fucking comb the crowd. And you just
I can't just walk around with a Bluetooth speaker just playing it.
I mean, that's like making your own nickname. I'm Mikey Too Cool. Yeah, yeah.
Mikey D.
The temptation to self deal is just too strong. You'd
That's
use
not
it on
gonna work for
everybody.
me.
You'd use it on everybody.
Yeah.
You have to let the cosmos use the boy band.
I think
maybe
it's a
five,
lovely
maybe a
story,
5-2.
and as Alan says, we should just sell this story to Richard Curtis and get it turned into a movie for Christmas.
Sure.
Can I say to people in the chat about dog breeding? I do agree. We've bred dogs for tens of thousands of years, and we breed them for good purposes sometimes as well, basically. But when you breed dogs that can't breathe just because they look like little babies and sell them expensively to people for that reason, I think we're going a bit too far.
I think a lot of humans have the same brachial problems, and we don't put them out to pasture. We just give them help. It's
That's
not the
very
puppy's fault. We can't unbreed them. You know,
but
it's like they're gonna have sex with somebody, or you know, like they're still alive
breeding
already.
is a very different term in my community.
Yes, indeed. Rats are
Hey,
great.
Scott, I actually,
earlier story. That was good.
Yeah. And I'm hoping, was it
Met
just
with
a callback?
silence. I'm disappointed.
Is there information there that I don't know? Because that we may learn something.
No, I don't want to learn. No, don't teach him about that. No, we're not going to do that on the stream. Nope. There might be new people here. Anyways, politics. Don't Google it. Don't Google it.
It's not that bad. But yeah,
could be worse. You're right.
It was a good callback, guys. I hope people in the audience appreciated it.
It was a very good callback. I appreciate it.
Thank you.
So, what other stories have we missed this week? As Ollie says, we're talking about the things that happened in the last 2 days rather than the last 7 necessarily. I've lost track of what happened on Monday, Tuesday, and Wednesday in America.
The kid was born last week. The kid from that lady who had that car accident and she was brain dead.
Okay.
Yeah.
Oh, no, she wasn't born. It was extracted from a dead woman's corpse.
Mm-hmm.
I hate the fact that people are calling it born. I think it's disgusting. It's not born. There was nothing born about it. Being born comes from a person who's alive. You ripped out a baby that you incubated in a corpse. It's terrible. Yeah. It's absolutely terrible that poor child, if it survives. Imagine the trauma of understanding how they came into this world. Fucked up.
And I'm guessing that they switched off the machine on the mother. Is that
probably?
Is that what's happened this week?
I don't know.
Mm-hmm.
I hadn't heard that.
Is it?
So catch me up on this. What is this? Because I'm not familiar with this story, and I don't think that Ollie is either. So
in Georgia, a woman got into a car accident and was declared brain dead, but she was pregnant. So the family was ready to pull the plug, and the state said you can't pull the plug because there's a baby in there. So they left her on life support for over a month so that the fetus could grow inside of her. And then they removed the fetus.
She was brain dead, though.
Yeah.
Wow.
And like, there's so many parallels. Like, if you guys are not aware, oh, hi, pup. If you guys aren't aware of like the history of like how we know everything we know about gynecologically,
your dog is so cute, Mike.
All our gynecological information was obtained through a very horribly historical means. They experimented on black women. So the fact that this is happening in Georgia to a black woman is par for the fucking course for this place.
Like she was black, yeah?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Right. And they wouldn't let them take her off of life support.
And did this have anything to do with the abortion laws in
This, yeah,
Georgia?
completely.
Exactly
It's
that.
all about
That's
that.
that's
Yeah.
what it is. Yeah.
And the family's on the hook for the medical bill of keeping her
Oh, yeah, they
on
have to
life
pay
support.
for
Of
it.
course. Fucking yeah.
Yep.
Yeah.
This is the worst thing about America. You go through like the biggest sort of issue in your life, and then you are left with a damn bill. I mean, it's mad.
The biggest bill you've ever had. Like the worst
Yeah,
experience
I've seen-
and the
yeah.
worst bill simultaneously.
So what? So like, what is like happening to the kid now? Like,
I don't
so
know
I'm
yet.
guessing the kid got born and
Yeah.
is
Well,
Yeah.
now,
Removed.
is now being taken
Removed.
care of
I don't
by
know.
somebody.
And that's the thing. Like, I don't. If I'm the dad, like, what do I even do?
Yeah,
What do I even do?
yeah. I guess
Because you
wow.
can't. I guess you just have to wait and see what the hospital does with the kid. You can't do anything.
Yeah.
Like, this is terrible. And just down the border in Florida, this representative of Florida, she has been the most pro-life, anti-abortion, it's murder, la da da da. She's 37, gets pregnant, ectopic pregnancy. And for all you men out there, that means instead of the egg attaching in the uterus where it's supposed to, it is fertilized and it attaches in the fallopian tube, which is a 0% delivery chance. It cannot work ever. Not once. It is fatal every time for mom and baby. It's not good. She decides to go get some health care, as she calls it, to get the pill, the morning after pill, to terminate the pregnancy. The doctors are afraid to give it to her because of the same laws that say, I think I pulled it up the other day. I think it said something to the effect of like, medical professionals are not allowed to knowingly administer any treatments, medicines, that lead to the ending of a pregnancy. So they were like, I'm not going to fucking jail for you, lady. No, I'm not giving you this. I don't care if you're a representative or I'm not giving it to you. She calls fucking Ron DeSantis. And Ron DeSantis, it says what he needs to say to who he needs to say. And she gets her medicine. And that's half of the hypocrisy. She blames that on the left.
Yeah. They're scaremongering against the laws that
That's our
What?
fault that she
Yeah.
had a hard time getting the medicine that she doesn't want other people to
because of the
have.
scaremongering. The left are scaremongering.
And also, she did not have an
It's
abortion.
insane.
She had a medical procedure.
Yeah.
According to her.
That is madness.
Just-
I mean,
Yeah.
the whole like story seems so like horrific and tragic, and so many kind of difficult decisions at every stage. I mean, the state shouldn't have any role in this at all. Like, it
No.
should be the family and the people affected by it. Why
Yeah.
is this?
Yep.
Why is the state deeming what someone can or cannot do? It's just mad.
And
I don't
and
get
for the
it.
state to literally be the representatives, like the state assembly people and all that, those are mostly men, crusty old white
No, of
men
course,
who
yeah,
do not
of
have
course.
medical fucking degrees. Why the
course.
Yep.
fuck would you trust them to make any decisions?
Of course.
They do
and like,
not
how is
know.
this right? And like, how is this how is this freedom? I mean, how is this land of the free? Because this is not freedom. It's like
No.
dragging people into places they may not want to be at all.
Y'all Qaeda,
Yeah, I think it's.
the theocracy for the white
di-
folk. Y'all Qaeda.
Just on a.
Cozy.
It's just cozy. Hey, how are you?
Hey, hey.
Hey, I'm all right.
I thought you were.
Hey.
I think you were trapped in a pub somewhere in Liverpool.
Yeah.
Was that?
Well,
Well, New Brighton.
Well, we don't realize, guys, it's 11:30. The pubs are probably kicked out now.
There you go.
Yeah.
She had to
Well-
go home.
Should
They
probably
made
be
her leave.
expecting Graham.
So I'll probably do my usual of looking like I'm in a ghost movie.
Excellent. Yeah, come and haunt us
Blair
towards
Witch.
the end of the podcast.
Aren't you? Yeah,
so
okay.
scared
I
right
did-
now.
I did go on YouTube
Scott
a minute
loved that
ago.
movie, didn't you,
and
Scott?
showed you everything Mikey just said. Yes, all of that. Fucking ridiculous.
Wow, look at
were
the
you saying in
lighting.
the chat that Cozy? Were you saying in the chat there's a GoFundMe for the family? Is that?
It wasn't me, but I think I
Oh,
heard
right.
that somewhere as
Yeah,
well.
I think that. Yeah, I think someone did say that. Yeah. So there's probably a GoFundMe for the family, but
Yeah.
Well, they're gonna need it. They're in America, aren't they? Where there's no insurance system, no health service, no
Yeah.
free health service.
Yeah.
You don't have the socialist stuff, that makes sure that people don't die because they're poor.
Hey, Cozy, we're all gonna die.
Yeah, not because we're poor.
She's.
Yeah.
I can't believe that lady said that into a microphone in a room full of people, and then had the nerve to double down on it in a cemetery the next day. Like, that's the level of incompetence and just pageantry that I'm talking about. That lady does not know. That lady does not know how to do anybody's job. She can't show up into an office and take care of business. Look at how she acts.
But that is not a public official. That is not a public servant. That's not a civil. You don't talk about people like that.
Right.
No.
You just don't. Now, I mean, Trump
No respect.
can, throw F-bombs, because that's what he did on Monday, guys, by the way.
Yep.
Yeah.
No,
He
what
threw
the they're
F-bombs,
doing? Do you
right?
understand that?
'Cause people get angry. We all get angry at shit, right? But that
Fuck
woman that she had said something really disrespectful about somebody, and then said it again the next. No, you can't say shit like that and be a public official, because that's. Guys, I'm gonna go.
Oh man.
Yeah, you know why? Because it's getting late and I gotta get up in the morning. But also, can't keep screaming and shouting until 12 o'clock at night here. And this I'm getting angry and wound up by all the ridiculous stupidity.
But just remember, Mom Downey won.
Yeah, that's good news.
A new hope.
Scott, can I thank you very much for joining tonight? I really appreciate it.
No problem.
Myself, just from a personal point of view.
Yes.
very
No,
much.
and I, you know what? I had this whole vision of you being all by yourself, and I just couldn't. I was just like, no, I gotta go.
Thank you. I really appreciate that.
Lovely to see you, Scott.
It was lovely to see all of you. I love you all.
Love you, Scott.
Cheers, man. Love you.
Bye.
Go find a disc golf course and play around.
Darian Astar, thank you very much for the £20. Hiya, Cozy. Thank you for breaking up the sausage party.
On that note,
Mike, how did you? Were you really
Let's
on
get
your
rid of
own
it.
for a long time earlier on? I felt so bad for you, but I just there was no way I could have logged in. I'm sorry.
It's actually been my fear all week because I'll be absolutely honest with you. I'm very honoured that Graham would ask me to do this, and we did have a run through the other day, and it's going, "Are you worried about the technicals?" And I said, I'm seriously not worried about the technicals, Graham. I'm totally worried that nobody's going to log in because you're not there, basically. And he's going, it's not about me. And I'm going, it is about you, you idiot, basically. Of course it's about you.
It's not about him.
Right now, you still have 128 people watching.
Yeah, it's not about him.
Yeah.
Nobody. People are here for
listen,
us. You know what I mean? Like, they're here for us.
I want to say this on air as well. Mikey, Pranay, and Ollie, thank you very much for turning up, and Cozy for the last minute thing. It's been good. And I hope the audience is enjoying it as much as they would a Graham night. But he will have stories from Glastonbury
for us. He will have stories from watching his questionable music choices.
Exactly.
He better not have been at any EDM stages.
I don't necessarily want to share this link because I can't really validate that it is actually the GoFundMe for Adriana's family. But there is a GoFundMe page, and it appears to have raised $449,340.
Good.
It's probably going to be needed as well if
to cover everything.
Yeah. So that's a bit of good news, isn't it, about that situation? But even then, I think they probably need more than that. Kids.
Yeah.
That is not going to last for the lifetime of a kid, is it?
Mike, I hate to say this, but we're going to find out next week when that account's cashed out that it wasn't that family, it was somebody spoofing them.
That's
that's
what worries me. It's why
some MAGA dude set it up
just in case.
Yeah.
So
they're pretty good about validating
which is a shame. But I think if you search for it and research it yourselves, do your own research, folks. Basically, it's Adriana's family during this heartbreaking journey. It's fun for that, and assess it yourself to see whether you think it's real. But it's always one of the things
Yeah,
that I do love
one
about
has
the
to be
internet,
terribly cynical nowadays, I think, and just double check
Yes.
everything. You're so
which
right
is
to
awful, isn't it?
put the
It's
caveat.
awful.
Well, yes and no, you
Well,
know, empty caveat. You know, it's a 2,000-year-old saying for a reason. Buyer
Yeah.
beware.
just
You know, if you're
just so you
gonna
know
go-
that this is a story in Canada here just last week. A lady here in Canada went on a website, it said CRA, Canada Revenue Agency, had looked completely 100% legit. She was trying to open up a new business account because she's starting a business. It wasn't it wasn't our website, and they drained her account,
Jeez.
right?
Oh.
So
Yeah, it's
this just
it's a
happened
bad
last
look.
week. Big news in
And
Toronto, right?
I mean, listen, this allows me to segue into a story that's been really important to me this week. I don't know if anyone saw the Panorama special on the BBC about the girl that died of cancer because her mother, who is an anti-vaxxer and quite a famous one in the UK for being a complete dickhead and bitch, basically, literally during COVID, her mother, who claimed to be a nurse, but she'd not been a nurse for 20 years, had promoted the idea that the vaccine was dangerous, that it got microchips in there, that mask wearing was dangerous, etc. Daughter, who was at Cambridge University, had a fairly aggressive form of cancer, and her mother convinced her not to use chemotherapy, and she died within 6 months. And her other children, her surviving brothers, literally came out in this documentary and said, "We do not know what's gone wrong with our mother, but she has killed our sister." And yet, this woman still has an X account. She is still grifting and making money, and she has come out and is threatening to sue Addenbrooke's Hospital, one of the best hospitals in the world, as far as I'm concerned, threatening to sue them for killing her daughter when she was just refusing to take chemotherapy, which would have, you know, the condition she had, it would have actually absolutely cleared it up and maintained it. From a personal perspective, as somebody dealing with cancer at the moment, the grifters that are out there that tried to, every post I ever make about my cancer, whether it's a joke or not, is automatically found by bots and then found by grifters who try and sell fucking berries that are supposed to cure you, or some form of prayer that the government are trying to keep from you. And for $190, they will send you a DVD still to make you understand what the situation is. And I think when we get to a situation where a mother is letting her daughter die for a ridiculous conspiracy theorist, basically, then and she's doing that so that she can afford the Botox she keeps shoving in her ugly face in order to make herself look young still. And her own children are willing to go on national television and say this woman killed our sister to make a buck. You know, it's easy. I've often thought I should just invent a berry that I found on Brighton Beach and start flogging it to idiots, basically, because there are plenty of people out there that will try and cure cancer
the
without
feeling
science.
is money are easily parted, but you know,
It's disgusting.
you'd
I'm
have
sorry
to
for the
live with
rant,
yourself.
but it's a story that I will actually put a link into this story because it's something I think we should all care about. There are many, many vulnerable people being taken advantage of on this subject, and it's a classic thing of when people are at their weakest and most vulnerable, there's money to be made. You know, that's what destroys people's lives. Anyway, on that light note, I've got to
On
go.
that happy note, thank you, Mike.
Thank you, Mike.
Yeah. Well, it's been I got really angry. I very rarely swear in posts on Twitter and stuff, but you know, I've called these people what they are, bastards and murderers, and they should be locked up. And I think I've had relatives of mine try and spend money on things, on these scams, and I've just said, please stop, send it to cancer research. You know, if you want to use your money for anything, send it to the people that are actually trying to cure my cancer, not those morons trying to make money. Anyway, rant over. Back to the chat. Okay. Cozy, why were you down the pub tonight?
My husband's birthday.
Oh, wow.
There you go.
Oh, happy birthday.
Thank you.
How old is your husband today?
Raised the hand. Disappearing to bed.
How old is he today?
25, Mike.
Yeah, and a bit.
Yeah.
25 times 2 plus tax.
Wow. Okay.
Did you have a nice evening? That's the important thing.
It was very.
Did he
it
have
was
a nice evening?
quiet and chill. But I think we had an all right evening. We had a few quiet pints, which is all right. Obviously, all his pals are in Glastonbury. So he's kind of cursed with especially the last few years, since there's a whole group of people that he's really connected with, but they all go. There's about 20 of them, and they all go to Glastonbury every year.
Mikey, was that, just out of interest, was that a sponsored pour of that drink?
Yes.
That's our commercial section.
Yes.
Cheers.
Clink.
Beer. It's fucking marvelous. Go buy some.
Yeah.
That's good.
No, thank you. I prefer other indulgences.
Yeah.
They were on sale, and I was like, you know what? I haven't had beer in a long time.
That is an awesome pipe. That is an awesome pipe, Ollie. Brilliant.
Is that a Gandalf pipe, Ollie?
Yeah. I have 4 more of them on the shelf over there. 3 more of them on the shelf over there.
That is a piece of art.
Yeah. I have quite the collection of pipes, actually. I think I have about 100. I have about 150, 160 pipes and bongs.
No.
Yeah.
Oh,
150
wow.
pipes.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah. I got 40 within reach right there on a shelf.
Damn. We need to do a whole show just on Ollie's pipes.
Yeah. So.
Ollie actually owns more pipes than there are grocery stores in his province.
Accurate.
I actually for a couple of 420 shows, that's people had me on just to show off my pipe collection. So, yeah.
Oh my God! Why didn't we do that, Ollie? Why didn't you remind? Oh,
that is very cool.
We should have did that for our channel.
Yeah.
I didn't think we had a show on 420.
We would have made
Dogs
one.
and pipes. Dogs and pipes. You're covering off a couple of niches on YouTube all of a sudden.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, Mike, where's your dog sitting?
Currently, he's sprawled on the floor. He has appeared. He did pop his head up.
What is he?
He's a Labradoodle.
A Labradoodle. Oh, very cute.
And
yeah, he's very cute.
And I point at my beautiful Pilsner glass because I earned it by streaming. I got so many of those points you get accumulated over time. And I've been streaming. I think my channel hit the 6-year anniversary. I played a lot of Halo and Call of Duty, and I streamed pretty much every night for years. I never looked at them damn points. I finally cashed them in last month. I got a glass. I got a backpack. I got a hoodie. I got a t-shirt. I had all kinds of merch that I never claimed. I've maxed out the XP you can earn. I've maxed it out. I'm way past the bar now. I was like, well, then give me my shirt and shit. In fact,
yep.
I would like some.
Well
free
done,
stuff.
Mikey. That's an achievement. Well done. You should be very proud of yourself.
Makes the beer taste sweeter.
Yes, of course. Can I just thank one angry pagan for the £2? Some grifters try to pass off as pagan. They are not pagan. I can't imagine. It would be very difficult to pretend to be one angry pagan. I think the way he constructs his sentences and everything else, basically, it would be quite difficult to pass. So I think you're safe.
I think he's saying people are claiming to be pagan and they're not pagan.
Angry pagan.
Are they passing off as pagans, not you? All right.
Oh,
yeah. No, not as him, but as pagans. But I do have a soft spot for that particular angry pagan.
Yeah.
And he likes rats, and I like rats too. So another tip.
I call him one favorite pagan. I mean, I'm just saying.
Yeah.
Hey, I don't want to, Mikey. I don't want to rain on your parade, but James says that's not a glass that you would serve a Pilsner beer in Germany. Just saying.
Well, then which one?
It's not shaped like a boot.
No, it's not.
Well, then correct me. What's the word? Tell me. Y'all let me fucking say wrong shit. How dare you? This is the problem with media. You need to correct me when I'm wrong. God damn it.
Show me the glass again. Speak to the rest of the
he'll tell you.
It's smaller on the bottom, bigger on the top.
Oh
Yeah, it's
no,
a
that's
half
just a
pint, though.
pint glass. That's not a Pilsner glass.
Pint glass.
see.
I meant to
Pint
say.
glass.
Yeah, a simple miscategorization of my P words for beers.
No, nobody can say we don't thoroughly fact check this channel.
Please do. I'm okay. I'm okay with being corrected as long as I'm actually wrong. That's the thing that pisses me off is when people misunderstand me and then I have to correct. Like, yeah, I get what you're saying, but I did not say that.
Yeah,
like your
I wasn't
point.
wrong.
Your point is great, but I didn't say that. So
Yeah. Stop straw manning me.
that's a great argument that you defeated. If only it was mine.
Yeah.
So, Cozy, what's been the big story for you this week?
Oh God, where do I start? Well, do you know what? We've actually got a little bit. We've got two good news stories. One is the backbend. I mean, this one is one I'm cautiously optimistic about. So we have spoken in the past about the government's plans to change disability benefits.
Yeah.
And there was quite a backbench sort of rebellion, and it seems to have worked. So there was an announcement quite late yesterday. Was it yesterday? Yeah, yesterday. That some sort of compromise has been reached. So it'll be interesting to see the detail and to see what's going to go ahead.
We talked a bit about that at the beginning, and it does feel a bit like internal democracy at the Labour Party might be having an influence finally.
Yes, well, one would hope so anyway. And I mean, they're still going ahead with the vote on Tuesday, so I guess it's going to be a bit of a frantic weekend of hammering out the finer points. And it'll be interesting for people who work in the advice sector, welfare benefits rights, to examine what exactly the detail is going to mean. What is this actually going to mean in practice? But it looks like it's the reforms are only going to apply to people who start new claims in the future. Settled status, which is indefinite leave to remain. There's a change to the absence rule. So in principle, and the principle hasn't changed, you're only allowed to be absent from the UK for 6 months a year during your 5 years qualifying period. So in the past, that was quite strict. No single absence could be more than 6 months, whereas now you still mustn't exceed more than 2.5 years absence.
Yeah, sorry, I had to fix it. My cord was kept unplugging itself, so I had to rewrap it. My bad.
Right.
It's a little bit more real, especially with COVID absences. There were people who maybe in spring 2020 or summer 2020 went to their home country to look after family, to care for loved ones, or because they were sick, or they were on a holiday and got stuck there, and weren't able to return to the UK, which is actually their home, for longer than the prescribed 6 months. So it's a practical solution to a very, a real life problem that affects quite a number of people. There are still around about a million people, or there were 1 million people with pre-settled status. I'm not quite sure where the number is exactly now, because it's 2025 now. So a lot of people are reaching that 5-year mark. So yes, cautiously good news, of course, causing a lot of confusion. People are like, oh, does that mean I can now get status with 2.5 years? No, the qualifying period is still 5 years. The underlying laws haven't changed. The new rules come in effect on the 16th of July. So everybody's like, oh, if I apply on the 16th of July, and it's like, were you in the UK on the 16th of July 2020? No, then no.
Yeah.
That's just when the rules come in effect. So I foresee a bit of chaos with people making applications that are not really, what's the right word, bona fide. But it's good news for those people who were caught up in that, rather very innocently caught up in not meeting the very stringent residence rules through essentially no fault of their own, through circumstances beyond their control, especially where it was connected to things like COVID.
Yeah.
Yeah.
What I find really fascinating about media reporting in the UK is that, just what Kosi, you just said you just kind of explained something that potentially affects about a million people. And 1 million people 1 million people being affected by a small procedural change is a big, has a huge
it would be
impact,
a big deal
right?
if it was about trans women, wouldn't it?
Well, yeah, but
yeah, you know what I mean.
no, true,
yeah.
but the point I wanted to make is that why don't we have these European citizens on television talking about how this rule change or the lack of rule change affects them?
At times
because it's like
do
1 million
try to
people.
get in the media. Sometimes we succeed, but
yeah.
Not
No,
often.
but it's a huge thing, right? I mean, like quite a few people are probably relieved now that they can stay. Yeah.
A lot of people who are affected are family members of people of other EU citizens who maybe have full settled status or settled here. So all in all, there were over 7 million applications to the EU settlement scheme.
Yeah. One of them was like me, by the way, because I'm a partner of a European citizen, so I applied for a settled status through that.
So yeah. You're here on a family permit, and you also have to be settled before you get settled. So
I'm sorry to interrupt, but can I just check what Ollie's showing us? That looks like a hand grenade. Is that what that is?
What?
I'm slightly worried. He's so,
hang on, let me fiddle about.
He's so disturbed at the conversation about European immigration that he's got a hand grenade and pulled the pin out with his teeth. I think that's what just happened.
No, it's a hand grenade pipe, though. It's a pipe.
That's amazing.
Oh wow!
What?
Yeah. And then I have the Devil's Hordes pipe. Right. So.
There is a whole channel to make, Ollie, about this. I'm sure
there is.
I think there might have to be a special, huh?
This I just brought out 4 or 5 here. So this what? See the face
what's
on
that
that?
one?
Yeah.
Is that a lion or
it's called the Lion of Judah. It's actually got a name on it.
Oh, wow.
Lion of Judah.
right. So
amazing.
This one I really like. They're really dusty. I haven't cleaned them in a while. I apologize for that. But
now we're on the pipe channel. Look, can you see this one?
Mike,
that's a vape.
Splendid.
What?
No, really?
Splendid.
Yeah.
It's I think even look, you press the button. Where am I, camera? You press the button and a little light comes on.
Yeah.
Oh wow.
Oh, that's cool.
And then this is a dab rig. I don't know if you know what a dab rig is.
No.
Holy shit! I got to clean that. But basically, you heat this up with a torch, right?
Yeah.
And you put a dab of wax in there, and it goes all the way through the thing.
And where do you put the crack cocaine? In the barrel? What is that?
I don't do crack cocaine. That's not my stuff. So
just slinging mud.
I just brought it a couple.
They're amazing.
Wow.
I do like a good pipe. There's a pipe shop in Brighton that reminds me of when I was a kid and my granddad would go every Saturday to go and buy his pipe tobacco, and it smells just like that. And the guy in there is just like the guy that used to serve.
Did you like it as a kid? Because I just hated the smell of it as a kid.
Really?
Yeah.
Hey, Pranay, I ended up smoking for the majority of my life, so I think it had an influence.
Even I'm going to show you one more.
When I was a teenager, I used to roll pipe tobacco.
Wow.
Really?
Danske Club. Yeah, Danske Club.
Can Can you see the dragon
What
in
is
there
that? Is that
inside?
a
They did a really nice fine cut vanilla. Ooh.
Oh yeah.
Right.
That's like that one's like a flute.
It's a test tube pipe, right? So you put the
Okay.
wheat in here, and it comes through. And here, I'll show you. Put some wheat in it.
Blows out the dragon's mouth.
Yeah.
Amazing.
Oh, it's pretty clogged. It's going to be hard to get it out.
Oh, it's
The
Welcome.
problem with it is right there. It's so narrow, right, that it gets clogged up super easy.
Oh.
So
Welcome to the
We'll see
Friday
if I
night tote with
yeah,
Ollie.
we'll see if I can get a toke out of it to show you. So
Yeah, I agree with Super Tiny in the chat that tobacco smells much nicer when it's not being burnt.
I was literally going to say that. I was like, I love the smell of tobacco. I hate its smoke.
Yeah, yeah.
Ah.
I think. Oh wow, okay.
it's like dragon
That is
breath.
amazing.
Huh?
Mm-hmm.
That is amazing.
Wow.
You know there are whole channels, vape channels.
Something
It's
funny
like
because I can't see you and I can't seem to change the screen, so I see everybody.
It's like
Oh.
almost anything these days. There is always a niche audience, isn't there, for everything? But there are channels where people are just trying to blow the biggest amount of vapor that they
Yeah.
can, and that's
that
it. That's
Yeah.
They just have that. They go, these are the settings I'm using, and then they go and just blow this huge amount of vape oil into
Yeah.
the air.
the ones that are cool are the ones that are doing vape rings or like
The
blowing
tornado.
bubbles at the same time and putting
Yeah,
shapes
yeah,
on
yeah.
bubbles
Yeah.
and stuff. Those ones are all right. I like that watching those, but just the guys blowing big vape clouds. What the fuck? Anybody can
What
do
is
that.
this about? Yeah.
You're just sitting
Very
at Subway trying to eat your sandwich, and the guy next to you is over there fucking making a goddamn tsunami. It's like, dude, stop, brother. Enough. You're not going viral. You just get the shit out of here, man. The fuck is going on with you? No one
So
cares.
on that note, guys, I'm gonna wind us up. I just wanted to say one other thing I've been watching this week that I'd recommend to anyone is Shifty on the iPlayer, which is Adam Curtis's latest documentary series, which is just remarkable. I don't know if you're aware of his work, but this guy goes back through the archives. He sits there in a cupboard in the BBC, accessing all of the archive footage they've ever filmed, and he's got this amazing skill of finding the bits of tape that were pre or post interview with famous politicians or celebrities, so that you get the real human side, the real things they're saying before they switch on their character. But there's a marvelous bit in episode 1. It's called Shifty on the iPlayer. And there's a marvelous bit in episode 1 where this woman in about 1970 is being interviewed with her dog sitting next to her. He's a great big British bulldog. And she's saying, so the interviewer says, what's happening with your dog? And she said, well, we went to the vet, so we discovered that he's changing gender, changing sex. He's becoming a she. And we don't know what to do because his name's Bruno and we've no idea what to call him. And it's beautiful because this dog just keeps looking at her sideways and going, oh, God, just let me change, basically, and then turns back again. It's the most amazing clip. But I tell you what, the point of the series, what Adam Curtis is doing with that series is laying out exactly how we've got to where we are now. And he points back through the entire history of my life, effectively, back to the 70s and late 60s, to show you where all of the current trends that we think have just come out of nowhere, you know, TikToking, influencers, the love and love of millionaires, etc., the glamour lifestyles, all of those things have got roots in our history and pins them mainly down to Margaret Thatcher and Ronald Reagan as a rule, basically.
Yep. Reagan ruined
but
everything.
He's also, well, and his thesis is that we are on the cusp of a major shift in society, that he thinks that it's run its course and the next phase of society is going to be something quite different that none of us would recognize until we look back at his documentary in 50 years' time. So on that plug for the BBC, I'm going to wind us up. I'm so appreciative of everybody that turned up on video.
I have a thing everybody should check out too.
Please do, Mikey.
And it's a positive thing. Something to make you feel good. So the Vera C. Rubin Observatory is online. Oh my God, you guys need to go to their website, go to their YouTube channel.
Incredible.
It is the most amazing thing that we have ever done. It's
What
on
is-
the level of CERN for me. Like, we're gonna learn so much. And
Already have in a week, haven't we? Basically,
What is
Right.
it, Vera C. Rubin?
Vera C. Rubin is the chief astronomer who's was big in NASA. She is the brilliant mind with dark matter. She's the one who kind of like
Yeah.
established that and kind of like said, hey, these galaxies are spinning too fast for how much mass they should have. They should be flying apart, but they're not. That was her. So she has an observatory. It's down in Chile, up in the Atacamas, up on the very tippity top, right on the edge of the desert. And it's super dry out there. And we have the largest camera in history. I don't even know the dimensions, how it like, even like
it's
factors.
about
but
it's about 5 meters across or something, isn't it? I think it's enormous.
It's hard to put in scale, like a lens that big. And the fact that they made this lens is crazy. But the fact that it works and the whole thing is actuated, like it spins within like the whole thing can go from like all the way east to all the way west in a matter of like 4 seconds. It used to take a couple of minutes to move those big chunk kind of.
Yeah.
This thing moves. It moves very good. The images. So I downloaded the test image, like the sample one that they gave away to like for the announcement or whatever. The one image is 14 gigs. I had to open it in Photoshop.
Have you seen it on the website itself and the app that they've got? Because you can zoom forever into that picture, can't
It's
you? It's
unbelievable resolution. Like I'm talking, it's they said to get all of the pixels into like one thing accurately.
What? Forget Hubble.
Oh yeah, Hubble got replaced by the Webb. That's our deep eyes. That's our deep eyes. This is kind of like almost it because it takes images so quickly. This is almost like video. We're almost getting like video of space. It's so much faster than what we were able to do before. So I forgot where I was. What was I talking about? I don't remember.
the resolution that you're getting on the download.
Oh yeah. So each image to accurately show it would be 400 4K TVs kind of in a pattern, like in a gridish kind of thing. Yeah. That's how big each exposure is. And that shit's not getting put on film and then it has to go get exposed. And it has to it's going to the server room downstairs and they can get instantly into the data, into the measurements.
Terabytes of data.
And they got everything already set up. And it is, so the plan is to
just
drop
the link in the private chat.
So the plan
I've just stuck it in the main chat. Thank you.
Yeah, thank you for the link there.
It's incredible. If you zoom in on those pictures, you just keep going and going and going.
It's unbelievable. So because we're able to do that and get such detail and we're able to do it so quickly, this is going to go for 10 years. We're going to have a 4K movie of the southern sky that we're going to be able to zoom into at infinite ranges. It's going to be amazing.
In the space of a week's worth of data, because it can also track asteroids, can't it? Actually moving through the shots, they can see all the asteroids, and they've found 5,500 new asteroids that we didn't know existed in a week, and it took us something like 15 years.
We're in 6 digits now. They're up to 6 digits now.
Yeah, it's incredible. Absolutely.
You're still muted, Pranay.
Unbelievable. Yeah, no, thank you, Mikey.
I'm like just saying that is crazy. That is amazing. Like the fact that we were able to do so much in a week, that's mad.
And it's an earthbound telescope. And the most important thing about it is actually the camera, not the mirror in this case. The mirror is the size of most telescope mirrors, but the camera is the largest camera ever built and the most high resolution. So the camera is about a meter square, something like that. And each little panel on it is a 4K receiver.
Right.
So essentially every one of those pictures is made up of
it's capturing a lot of the sky in the same detail.
Yes. Yeah. Huge. It's 45 full moons worth of vision per image.
Right.
And it can do
quite incredible.
Here.
So
and
the
it
fact
moves,
that
you know.
So So the fact that like you like don't have to point it at a particular point in the sky, and
No, it's just capturing everything.
you can capture a lot of it basically.
Yeah,
Wow.
it's not targeted, but because the Earth's moving as well, it's constantly scanning the entire southern hemisphere.
Right.
And
so within a year, I think, or within a year, it will have done a complete cycle, won't it? And it will have captured the whole of the southern hemisphere, and then it will just start again. And that way, you get a movie every year, basically, of everything that's moved and how far it moved in the space of a year.
But all of those little, and when you guys look at the images, you guys have to remember all those very, very distant points of light are not stars. If you see something,
galaxies,
right? If you see something with a cross in it, that cross is due to the mirror and how the mirror is held up. That's a little. So some from certain observatories, you'll see like a little triangle kind of guy. That's because there's 3 arms that hold the mirror up. And if you have if you have a cross, there's 4 that hold the mirror up, and that's the artifact that you get in the flare on the nearby stars. So every little pinpoint of little bright stuff, except for the supernovas, which you can kind of, or the stars turning on that you can see sometimes in nebulae and stuff like that. Those ones with the little crisscross are right up in your face. Everything else, hundreds and hundreds of millions of light years away. So those are full galaxies that you're seeing, not stars.
And the resolution is so good that you can see individual stars within those galaxies as well, which you would not be able to do.
Unbelievable.
Yeah.
And they're doing this this is gonna, and like you were saying, Mike, like, so after the first trip around the sun, the first year of going, we're already getting so much great mapping data for all of the asteroids and near Earth objects that are between us and Mars and us and the asteroid. Like, we're getting because like you guys were saying with those ultra high def pictures, you get noise, right? You get these you get these streaks going through there. And then if you load that into your AI software, you know what it's fucking good for. Doing this kind of shit only, not fucking music, for fuck's sake.
No. We haven't, Mikey. We haven't got time. Let's stick to astrology.
Me, but it's all, but all that noise you can load in there, and then it maps the noise. They have mapped. That's how they're finding. They're into the 6 digits now of asteroids that they're finding, and now they can track their orbits, and now they can keep track of all of these guys, so we don't have a fucking dinosaur incident.
Well, I think that was I think that's where I got the 5,000 number from. They've discovered some number of Earth intersecting asteroid orbits that we didn't know existed, and they're not a threat, but they're essentially saying, hey, we're going to find, if there is a dinosaur killing asteroid, we're definitely going to find it with this telescope.
And we just couldn't do it before. They don't asteroids don't reflect very well. They may not be, the albedo might be low. They may not show off light. So then you literally can't see it. They don't shine. You can't use infrared. They don't have any heat. They're just out there, and you can't find them. We can now because they're passing in front of stars all the time, and they're fucking up the picture. And this beautiful picture that we would have with this amazing camera. It's like, oh my God, we have a super functional thing out of this that was probably anticipated, but no one expected it to be this good.
I'm so glad you ended with it on that subject, and I'm going to just turn it down because that's what I always do. But the fact that Trump is cutting budgets for shit like this is ridiculous. When you look at that and you think what humans have achieved, what we can achieve, to look at the scope and scale of that magnificent universe and what a tiny freaking dot we are in that, and how lucky we are to be alive on this planet, it's unbelievable that we're talking about a fat orange blancmange dropping bombs on mountains in Iran, basically. It's unbelievable.
Thank you, Darian D. Star, 20 British pounds.
Thank you.
Just support for the Ben podcast and super duper Mikey family. Thank you. Appreciate you.
Yeah.
I get I get amped up when we start talking about the stars, which is where I'm probably from.
No, I love it. Thank you, Mikey.
Hey,
we're all from there, aren't we? So
we all are. And I get to see
Mikey.
And I get to see my relatives every night. I get to see my relatives every night. I got to see my cousin Venus this morning.
Let's do a show about it, Mikey, because it fascinates me.
Yeah.
I love it.
You should meet Landon.
Cool.
You would love.
Well, Phil is massively into this stuff. We should get him. That would be the way for us to get him involved in a group conversation.
Good shout.
Right, guys, I am going to wrap this up and thank everybody and try and work out technically now how I actually stop broadcasting. I don't know how you do that. I worked out how to start
Good luck,
doing it.
Mike.
I've no real idea. So
Jump
bear
off
with
the
me
bike.
just-
Just jump off the bike.
Just unplug it.
Night, night, everyone.
Keep pulling out leads.
Right.
I just want to thank everybody in the chat for persevering. Graham will be back at some point this weekend, more than likely doing a Sunday service and telling you how wonderful Glastonbury was. And thanks very much for everybody that joined us on video tonight. I really appreciate it. And I will say good evening and good night, I think.
But we're still live over on the bin. So let me go ahead, click over on my buttons. Life itself is a miracle. Yes, one angry pagan. Thank you guys so much for the support today. Thanks, Ollie and everybody for joining us. I have more beer to drink because I don't have any more. I did 8 hours of streaming yesterday and I am done for the day. So guess what I'm going to do? Not fucking be in this fucking office and look at this fucking computer. Goodbye, everyone. Have a good weekend.